The story would begin at the end of the Tournament of Power. All the warriors, including the deities of the 12 universe, would see Goku as a potential threat, since his thirst for more power was endangering these 12 universes. On this occasion, Gohan and Goten would train since they longed to be as powerful as their father. Hey Whis, this is bad. If Son Goku becomes more powerful and his children resume training, they'll do something stupid and endanger the 12 universes. I like Mr. Goku, but you are correct. If you continue with that behavior, no matter where you go, you'll cause destruction. In that case, we gotta have an emergency meeting. We gotta do something against Son Goku and his family. I have to back all the other gods so as not to face the fury of Zeno-sama. In that case, let's inform the gods. Whis was able to communicate with the angels of the 12 universes. In the matter of minutes, all the gods arrived to the planet of Beerus. Beerus, I hope you have something important to tell us to arrange an emergency meeting. I stopped doing important business. I agree with Kyla. If you're able to organize an emergency meeting, you better tell us what's endangering these 12 universes. You're correct. I have to inform you that there is someone endangering these 12 universes, and if we don't do something, everything is going to be destroyed or eliminated by the great Zeno-sama. You better talk once and for all. Leave the mystery for another time. We better seal Son Goku or eliminate him. His power is growing incomprehensibly to even the gods like us. And not enough with that, his children have an amazing potential. They've resumed their training. That means that we have to have a few years. These three will be able to overcome the power of a guardian angel. That's why you organized this meeting, or am I wrong? As wise as ever, Amush. That's why we've been always characterized you, but you're right. Even though that we win this Tournament of Power thanks to Son Goku, I don't want him to put us in a situation. Yeah, but Beerus, you want to be able to seal Son Goku. He has the power of the Ultra Instinct, and his kids have the potential to have that too. That'll be more complex. We don't have the access to the Ultra Instinct. He's correct. None of us can get that Ultra Instinct, and they possess the power beyond the gods. I doubt that we'll be able to face the 12 gods together. We gotta do it. It's time. Right now, we'll be leaving for planet Earth. On Earth, Goku was focused on training. He would access the imperfect Ultra Instinct and be able to face Broly. Despite having unlimited power, it was not able to be controlled. He was not able to defeat Goku. Vegeta, on the ground, injured, remembering the words of Beerus. Vegeta, if it's hard, you gotta accept it. Son Goku's a threat to Universe 7. You gotta protect your family. No matter how we see it, even though you're saying don't commit stupid things that put the well-being of your family at risk. Damn it, Beerus is right. Although it's hard for me to accept, we gotta banish him off of Earth. Otherwise, a powerful enemy could see Kakarot and not do anything. Goku would continue training against Broly, would get angrier, and Goku didn't plan to end the battle so quickly because he wanted his body to get used to the charge of the Ultra Instinct. But the expulsion of Broly's power, the whole planet of Earth was affected, and Gohan and Goten in this place would be in the whole battle taking place. Wow, I'm not able to feel the divine energy. I didn't know who was fighting, but Dad's able to defeat that warrior.
Wow, when I grow up, I want to be like my dad. He can be the most powerful Saiyan in the 12 universes. I want him to be proud of me. I know I can do it.
Of course, if they leak, it's not time for you to worry about that yet, since you've got to finish school, since our mother would get mad at you. At that moment, a tremor would be over the place. Goku charging his energy in his hands with the intention of leaving Broly out of combat. The attack being a few centimeters from Broly, the Dragon Balls would teleport him to the planet, being raised since he was a simple baby. Well, apparently he was able to teleport with the help of the Dragon Balls. He's not a bad guy. I hope I can face him again. Goku would approach Vegeta, helping him. However, Vegeta would refuse his help by getting to his feet on his own. Goku was able to say anything. Goku's body would move on his own, as an attack would head towards Goku's heart that would be deadly. Who's attacking treacherously? You better show yourself. A large smoke screen was able to observe the 12 gods of destruction. It'd have been better for you if you hadn't dodged that attack, because at this moment, we'll have to seal you for eternity. You won't be able to die. If you do, Zeno-sama would notice your heart stopping. What's this happening? What type of training? I don't like it. It's the essence that's completely evil. And that attack thrown at me was capable of ending my life if I didn't dodge it. This is not training. We plan to end your life. We can't allow this mortal to have the power beyond the god of destruction. You together with your kids have the seal of all existence. The god Kyla moved quickly and prostrated himself behind Goten and Gohan, leaving them on the verge of death and out of combat. Despite having great potential, they couldn't release 100% of their power, and their hair would turn to a pink color while the evil essence was released around him. I swear I won't let you lay your hands on my kids. I'm not interested in dying. You have to come to me. Goku with great anger would pounce against Beerus, who would stop his blow, but the bone of his arm was destroyed and a big scream would be heard. Goku with a big kick sent him flying and generating an explosion would pounce against Beerus. The gods exchanged millions of blows. Goku seemed to have lost the Ultra Instinct and could absorb the energy of the Ultra Instinct. Goku was able to dodge these blows, and the few that were granted to him would create incredible damage throughout his body. Two gods of a combined blow were able to send him to the surface of the planet, destroying everything. Goku would spit out some blood and see Vegeta. Vegeta, help me! I'm sure if we join forces, we could face them. I'm sorry, Kakarot. This is the best thing that'll happen between you and your kids, to die. I'm sure that if we leave them alive, we'll seek revenge, and it's not personal. As long as you continue to live on Earth, you will be in constant danger. Vegeta would turn around, leaving the place, while a few tears would fall to the ground. Goku's power would increase in an unreal way, so much so that the entire Universe 7 would rumble due to the excess energy. This is amazing. I didn't think that Mr. Goku's power would rise above these levels of betrayal, but apparently every living being is able to release its maximum potential when it's about to die. Goku is no exception. I swear I'll kill each and every one of you! Goku would throw himself against the gods, his bones beginning to be destroyed by the excess energy. The gods noticed this, and with a much higher power would throw energy attacks as well as lethal blows on Goku's entire body. Gohan would wake up his body injured because this had cost him too much to stand up, and at the moment of achieving it, he would have all this blood spread from his body. The power of the gods is overwhelming! He was able to generate incredible damage with a single blow. I can't let my father die just watching him come to an end. Gohan would stand up with anger begin to run through his body, was able to watch his father be completely destroyed. Gohan, at the moment of a great scream, would get the attention of the gods, and his power was able to release through the Universe 7. We should definitely seal them as soon as possible. We can't allow them to get more powerful. I won't let my father die! If they end his life, they'll end mine too! Those treacherous gods, especially Beerus. We gave our lives for that tournament, and you pay us this way! That stupid tournament was created by the ignorance of your father, and for that very reason we want to end his life. And because as long as he lives, all 12 universes will be in danger. It's better to join us, and we promise to leave you alive. I'm not such a scumbag to betray my own blood! Gohan, with an incredible roar, would drive the gods away from Goku, while the others would stand by his side. Father, it's impossible to defeat them right now. We gotta flee and become more powerful and take revenge on them. That'll be impossible, since I've been able to realize that Universe 7's sealed, so we can't escape from here. The gods, without waiting for them to come up with a plan, would rush them, and a great battle would start. The angels, with the help of their staffs, would create a great dimension. The only way out was to overcome the power of the 12 angels together, which was impossible for a mortal. The seal is complete, and a matter of 3 warriors to aim to them, although of course we will not enter in a good way. It'd be better to leave them out, since it is the most feasible way.
But one of them's not able to do anything, so we could start with him, as he will be less of a hindrance.
One of the angels got Goten, who was out of combat, throwing him out of the dimension. This would be noticed by Goku and Gohan, who would get angry and try to increase their powers. Their bodies collapsed since their bodies would reach their limit. Both Saiyans would fall to the ground, returning to their base, as their internal system was destroyed. I can't believe this is the end of me! I wasn't able to do anything! I swear, I better end their lives. If it's gonna make us alive, I swear I'll return to search for this revenge, and we will finish with their divine energy and the existence of the 12 universes. I'd like to see that. It's impossible. The power of these two is incredible, but you won't be able to overcome the 12 angels, and getting out of that place will be impossible for you. I am sorry, Mr. Goku. I know that you are endangering the 12 universes. That's why we've resorted to this. Beerus would carry a small attack in the palm of his hands and watching them. I hope you'll be able to reflect on all that you've caused by the simple thirst of getting more power. Beerus would throw a little attack, sending them to that dimension. Son Goku's power turned out to be shady, but they weren't able to face all the gods together. It's this time to retire. No matter what happens in that dimension, nothing and no one will be able to get them out of that place. All the gods would go to their universes. Goku with his 2 children would be sealed in a dimension created by 12 angels. Goku, along with his 2 children, have been sealed in the dimension created by the angels. On the way out of that dimension was to overcome the power of the angels, and in the outside world, each god had gone to their respective universes. Returning to the Prince of the Saiyans, Vegeta would arrive at Bulma's house, and the warriors would be present. However, Beerus, along with Whis, would appear in the middle of all. We are here, and we have very important news to give you. I thought that they'd left our planet. It's better for me. Please explain to them that it was everything that happened with Kakarot and his kids.
Has something happened to my Goku, my little kids? Mr. Beerus, what happened to them? Was it a new enemy?
I'll say it quickly. It's not easy to say, but we sealed Goku with his 2 children before they turned against me. They must have something in mind. All the enemies that attack planet Earth have been because of Son Goku. The proof is obvious. Mr. Goku always longs to be more powerful. He doesn't take into account the repercussions of what happens on planet Earth and the divine energy to all the 12 universes. From the arrival of the Saiyans at the Tournament of Power, everything's been Son Goku's fault. He's not interested in others. He wants to be more powerful, and that way his kids were heading. For the other reason, we've been told what I've been told to do to them.
On the other hand, Mr. Beerus is right. I can't believe my children were sealed. They were innocent. They shouldn't have done that to him.
They were not as innocent as you thought. Gohan's power was able to be compared to the similar that of the gods, and it would be very complex to do something to them in the case that they reveal themselves. I just hope they understand us.
Now that I start to remember, the children, because of Goku, were always attacking us, but despite this, Goku would defend us. I think they went too far. They're right, things have happened because of them. He always solves them.
Problems that could be avoided. Son Goku was able to evolve because of Vegeta. He thinks that the well-being of his family, unlike Goku, who only seeks to become much stronger, nor does he help work with his wife.
I totally agree with that. He only wanted to, when he left, to train with Mr. Whis, and it hurts me to say that they just sealed my children. It's better that 3 people die than the 12 universes and millions of innocent lives die. I agree with you all, because Goku died on all these occasions, and he doesn't know what it means that I wish I had enough power to beat him up myself. I'm sorry, but it was something that I always had kept.
Well. Kakarot's supposed friends were nothing more than imposters by his side, only for protection that they could grant him. Unlike me, who used it to be more powerful.
In that case, everyone's been informed, we leave.
But before we leave, Vegeta, you want to come with us? We're planning to grant you the training of a god of destruction, since you have the skill and physiology to control the energy of destruction.
Vegeta was surprised by these words.
With the power of a god of destruction, I'll be able to surpass Kakarot. That power I always saw was unattainable.
This would go through his mind. Vegeta's expression would be more serious and step in front of Beerus.
Of course I'll go with you. I plan to be more capable of powerful than that useless Kakarot, and I plan to become more powerful than the 12 universe gods only below the angels. Those words I like to hear. In that case, let's go to Planet Vegeta. You'll start training to God Candidate of Destruction.
Wow, Vegeta would be the god of destruction of the universe. This deserves a party. And by the way, we want to celebrate Goku not being the cause of our problems anymore.
In the dimension, Goku was standing up, while his whole body was expelling blood, since his body was beyond the limits that he caused, and it was greater than the Tournament of Power. At this time, the blows of his enemies had damaged his interior a lot.
My body hurts. Really, the blows of these miserable people have been able to destroy everything. I can't let this happen.
Goku, with his effort, would stand, realize that Gohan was injured but not in death. Therefore, he was able to get his hand out of Goten, who was out of combat. Goku watched his 200 children and blood came out of their bodies. Negative power began to rise, and power of Kakarot lay dormant in Goku's unconsciousness that awakened. Goku in his head was able to hear Kakarot's voice. Son Goku, after several years I wake up. I'm the ruthless part of the Saiyans. I'm the Saiyan who arrived on Earth, but that blow sealed your consciousness and your brain. It's time to reform to a single being.
What? Are you the warrior they call Kakarot? How's that possible we exist? It's crazy. I'm freaking out about the gods of the gods.
I know it seems strange. If you and I unite, our powers will grow never seen before. We'll become one being, and it's like it's always been, and the potential will be incredible.
I definitely don't know what's happening, but if it causes me to do more power, I'll sweep the floor with those wretches, especially Vegeta. That wretch turned his back on me. I won't forgive him.
That's what I want to hear. So, let's break these chains. Free me from this imprisonment. Goku would approach his subconscious towards some large chains, and being able to have some energy flow, Kakarot destroyed them, approaching where Goku was. You and me, I am you. You and I should never have been separated. This moment we'll return to a single being and be the Saiyan of death. Both consciousness formed into a being. Although Goku's appearance hadn't changed, a great scream and several rays rose around him. A pink aura was rising from his body. This time, thanks to the power of his counterpart, Goku could transform while he was in a more serious and calculating look. By being able to reform, we've been able to eliminate our weak points. Since we don't have any openings, our body is able to master this transformation, and I'll call it Ultra Instinct Full Power. Despite the fact that on this occasion Goku had access to this transformation, he wasn't able to master it. He would instantly spit out blood, and falling to the ground, Goku would smile. Ha ha ha! This pain only make me stronger. All the pain I feel will multiply millions of times more. My kids and I will get out of this place. Goku turned to his kids, and with a slight bump of their stomachs, he was able to get them to react. Goten was woken up completely confused.
What happened, Dad? Where are we? I feel pressure going through your body.
Goku would return to his base state, putting his hands on Son Goku's body, healing all his wounds. My son, the gods and our so-called family have betrayed us. Their explanation's been that we're a threat to the 12 universes and sealed us. We'll get out of here, though. Goten would say nothing, and after a few tears rolled down his cheeks, not understanding why his mother would accept something like this.
Please, Dad, train me to become more powerful. I don't want those people to make fun of me like we were trash they could throw away.
Of course, son, but let me heal your brother, since it was his 12 gods of the universe that was barely badly injured. I have to make sure that the energy flow is in him. Goku would go to Gohan and would put his hand on his chest. Gohan, despite waking up, his energy was low, and Goku would transmit his power through Gohan's body, making him stand up.
My head hurts too much. What happened, Dad? Were we betrayed by these friends?
So it seems, Gohan, but at this moment we'll train, so that those bastards will be able to consider us a threat. I want them to be prepared.
I don't care what I have to do. I promise to finish them and go back to my dear daughter and wife. They must be waiting for me.
We only know that when we leave this place, our so-called friends have something to do with our betrayal.
No, Father. Please don't say that. I can't believe my wife had anything to do with that.
We have to become more powerful. I want you to take care of your training of Goten. Since I'm not able to master my power, that could cause him harm.
I understand, Father. I'll see to Goten breaking his limits, so you don't got anything to worry about.
I'll leave it in your hands. Please, try your best. And everything we want to do, we have to get revenge on them. The warriors left the different parts of the dimension. Goku would prostrate himself on the ground meditating, and with everything around him trembling, would master his energy, costing him more, since this time his heart was not pure as before, and in this, control of his divine energy was more complex. So that's why the warriors always fight weren't able to master their internal energy. I thought it was just the superstition of these miserable people. It really is more complex. Goku, without caring that his bones were compromised, would continue with his great training. In return to the planet Beerus, the deities with Vegeta arrived, and Vegeta would start his great training. On this occasion, you will master the energy of a god, and you will achieve it. Mr. Beerus will be able to give you a little energy, with which you can master completely, and access a new state. I understand. It seems easy. Let's start with you. Beerus, with a small smile, would generate a small sphere of destructive energy. I hope you're prepared. Although it seems simple, the energy of a god is much more complicated. Don't let your guard down. Beerus would throw an energy sphere and would enter Vegeta's body, starting to generate damage to his internal system, and too much blood was spreading all over the planet of Beerus. Mr. Beerus, it seems rash to grant the God of Destruction candidate training, since this small sphere of energy I throw at him is able to destroy 60% of his organs. No, Whis, I'm sure Vegeta can bear it. We just have to be giving him a little more time. Vegeta, while he felt his whole body was about to explode, would concentrate, meditating. Large amounts of blood released his whole body. Vegeta would stay calm, assimilating the energy of Beerus, and his body would stop receiving damage. See, Whis, I told you. His destructive energy is not easy to control for a mortal, but Vegeta is able to master the energy of a god. Well, I didn't expect this. This energy would cause Vegeta to cause him the end of his own existence. For Vegeta, because of the most powerful god of destruction, he must have rigorous training, and he'll have to see death up close. Both deities were interrupted by a great noise, and on this occasion the Oracle Fish would cause great news. Mr. Beerus, do you know the premonition of the same god I told you about a few years ago? Of course I remember her, and not as powerful as I expected since she wasn't able to give me 25% of my power. Well, that's the problem. I don't know what happened, but my premonition was accurate. I was able to see the 12 universes, including the gods and angels, eradicated by the god Ozaru. The look on Beerus's face would be of great terror, who would, with this being, remember the premonition he had of the Super Saiyan God. A great rumble would be felt over the planet, and instantly Beerus would release destructive energy because he was afraid of the warrior who it could be. Mr. Beerus, calm down. As I've told you, the premonitions are 90% correct, but there is also 10% error. We all know that, Oracle Fish. Mr. Beerus is afraid he knows Son Goku will never stay still in the dimension we've sent him. But why are they able to send Goku to that dimension? Thanks to him, Universe 7 won the victory in the Tournament of Power. I understand, but you must realize that Son Goku never met Zeno-sama, so although he didn't want to accept it, this has partially been his fault. I see you have some reason. I disagree because no matter how many problems Son Goku causes, I was always looking for a way to solve them. But, well, they're not matters of concern for me, since you are the deities of this universe. The Oracle Fish would proceed to leave, and Beerus had stopped releasing that great power. Vegeta, surprised, wasn't able to do anything. The destructive energy in his body didn't allow him to move, and was able to observe everything that happened. Hell, I doubt Kakarot can get out, since it's been created by the power of the angels. I gotta become more powerful. Vegeta would try to make his head go blank. It was impossible since each defeat he had with Kakarot passed through his mind. And in the dimension, Goku would continue meditating, despite that the room was created by angels and had very special characteristics. Stronger they become, the gravity increased. And they noticed by Goku because the three of them trained, and the pressure that fell on Goku's body would end the life of his kids. Goten didn't even have variables of Super Saiyan. Gohan had power which would rival the divine energy, but was still not enough. I gotta master my energy completely if I'm not interested with every one of my bones being destroyed, but I swear I'll make it. Goku would meditate. Something no one in that place had noticed was that time would pass differently. Since they were training, no matter how many years they spent outside, they'd never grow old, in which the same way 1 day outside was 2 years inside. But none of the warriors had noticed this. On the other end of the dimension, Gohan released a little of his power in his mystical state, and he began to train Goten, who he could master higher levels of pressure in his body. I know this isn't a big deal for you, Goten, since you all are the Saiyan like me, but you gotta start little by little. I want to make sure that my beast mode pressure, that I'll break your bones if I don't have a good foundation. Of course, brother. Help me become your powerful. I can't believe one of our friends has betrayed us. I want revenge. Damn, Goten, already seeks thirst for revenge. It's obvious since even our mother betrayed us. I want to get out of here. Gohan would instantly release more pressure and began to exchange several blows. With each blow, Goten was injured. because the pressure of Gohan wasn't able to bring to his knees, compromised his speed a little, and was crucial in battle.
Enough! I want you to meditate. I want to help awaken the power of Super Saiyan 2, and we need to walk a traditional path.
Gohan would put his hand on Goten's head. Gohan, with his great power, was able to get Goten an illusion. Goku and Gohan were defeated by the gods if Goten wasn't able to do anything. Gohan would notice Goten's power rise.
Apparently he's been able to work. Now it's just a little bit more to be able to access Super Saiyan 2.
A golden aura of energy would rise over the place. Goten's power was able to grow greatly.
I swear I'll end the lives of those good-for-nothings. My father and brother gave their lives. Miserable gods, I'll eradicate them.
Goten would instantly fall out of combat because Super Saiyan 2 was too much on him. Gohan would carry his brother, getting him to rest somewhere away from where Gohan would start training.
I've been able to access Super Saiyan B state, but my bones and internal organs were compromised. My body was heavy and I wasn't able to move. I felt like everything was destroyed.
Gohan was instantly begin to meditate, and rays were scattered over the place of the dimension. Goku would open his eyes and notice the place had been 6 months, and their bodies were in the perception of time of the outside world. And the three warriors would only feel like a few hours passed, but their bodies and abilities had been training for about 6 months, and Goku was able to master 92% of his internal energy, and thanks to this, Goku was able to access the perfect Ultra Instinct, which took over the place of a great aura would rise, and among the silver glitter, Goku could observe an imposing look.
I was able to master my internal energy to 92%, and I'm sure I can achieve it. Although currently I want to increase my power, and I want to know which transformation is the most useful to me on the battlefield.
Goku and Ultra Instinct would concentrate, making Kakarot materialize, and a shadow moved a little from him. The large smoke would form, being identical to Goku being observed. This time, he had red hair.
I want you to fight me. I know this transformation is more favorable. The Ultra Instinct mastered this transformation I call Full Power Ultra Instinct. I feel that both have very different characteristics and can adapt to different styles of combat. That'd be better. Okay, but if you ask me for advice, you shouldn't call for Full Ultra Instinct, because Ultra Instinct could be something like this.
Kakarot would clench his fists with power, his hair would turn white, and despite it, his muscles would grow, and his body, reacting on its own, would not be able to dodge them because the change of speed for power.
This would be the full power of Ultra Instinct. If my enemy overshadows me in power, I don't want to go to the afterlife alone. So I detonate an explosion. It's for combat, but it's a terrible idea. I personally recommend you call it the Super Saiyan of Revenge. Ha! It doesn't matter what we name it. We have to figure out which is the best transformation on the battlefield. That's why I've asked you to materialize so you can help me fight against me.
Ha! It'd be a pleasure, because even though I've been sealed in your subconscious for years, the Saiyan blood runs through my body.
Heh, I don't doubt that you could stand up to me, since I'm the warrior who's able to overcome the power of the gods.
But don't you forget that you are me and I am you. For that reason, we're able to overcome the power of the gods, and for that reason, I was able to achieve it.
In that case, I want to check what you're saying, because apparently you have a big mouth but you can't move from the place. You afraid?
Kakarot, irritated by his counterpart, pounced on Goku, but the transformation Kakarot possessed Goku didn't know, and he also had the Ultra Instinct. Goku would dodge Kakarot's blow, a knee to the stomach a little, and would amaze him for a few brief moments. He was able to overcome his reaction speed of the Ultra Instinct, and they took a little distance.
Well, I don't have to trust myself after all, since I can tell that you're a rare transformation that you possess the Ultra Instinct.
Huh. You didn't think that it was a lie that I could do it too? After all, we're the same person, a being that never should have separated.
I agree. You don't have the battle experience I have, and that's a weak point. You don't have to feel no matter how hard you try.
You forget that I was the Saiyan who was supposed to conquer Earth. The experience of hundreds of generations runs through my veins. But since you have such a high ego, I'll show you how you possess the Ultra Instinct. You lose. Goku would feel how his body would shudder, and the whole area of Kakarot changed. The essence of a god of death would be perceived, and Goku, without able to react, a blow was able to send him flying. And Goku wasn't able to see it, and the damage created madness. Since Goku wasn't able to stand up, large amounts of blood were released.
What? How could you hit me? I wasn't able to see anything. My body wasn't able to react. How were you able to do it? That wasn't a normal blow.
Ha! You have so much ego that the great power you back up, since no enemy could reveal to you how much you could break your defense. Goku would stand more seriously and throw himself against him. In seconds, the level of his opponent moved away incredibly, because Kakarot didn't move in the slightest. He didn't dodge any of his punches, and the punches received weren't able to make him move, and would act annoyed by Goku even more.
Damn it! Don't underestimate me! Take this! Destructive blow!
Goku would use a great power in his fist, and the beastly blow on Kakarot's face would cause an explosion. While Goku's smiling, among the smoke the explosion would reveal red eyes, and Goku would feel the real terror. But before he could react, Goku would hold him with incredible brutality on the neck, being able to sink him into the ground, and Goku, with all his physical strength, wasn't able to do anything against him. Since the whole battle was going on, Gohan would continue meditating, and of several Semas, Gohan was able to get Beast Mode at will.
I've finally been able to manage access to Beast Mode. It's like Goten, I also need a trigger to achieve it. I've got to master it.
Gohan would instantly access his Beast Mode, but the power he released on this occasion was 3 times more than when he faced the gods, and Gohan hadn't noticed such an increase in power. Gohan in his Beast Mode would simulate training battles with each gods, while Goten would train Super Saiyan 2.
I know that I haven't been able to master Super Saiyan 2 and even Super Saiyan 3. When I'm able to achieve it, I'll finally be able to access the Divine Essence. Get ready!
Kakarot was able to humiliate Goku because this time, even though Goku stood up, his punches couldn't do anything. Ha! I've warned you. Apparently the Ultra Instinct is not a transformation that fighting powerful enemies, and it gives great reflexes. It's limited in the transformation, and more speed and power, your reflexes decrease a little.
What? How do you know that? Were you able to analyze my battle formation since the Gods of Destruction?
I have, and fought the whole battle in Ultra Instinct. I'm sure at this dead moment, this power of the Ultra Instinct's limited, and your transformation stayed short. The Ultra Instinct in your base state, and in the same way, you can access other variants at will to have great increase.
I've been able to understand it, so I want to face you with Super Saiyan God Rose. I want to check what distance separates me from that rare transformation.
Heh, alright, let me heal your wounds.
No, don't worry, I've got something I wanted to check.
Goku would instantly rise his base state and would close his eyes concentrating, accessing Super Saiyan God, which all his wounds and energy were able to be restored.
Super Saiyan God has a regeneration, but his power is lower.
It's inferior. You're not able to master the transformation even 20% of the reason I was able to beat you, since I am using Super Saiyan God.
What? But it's different from Super Saiyan God that I have. Why is that?
I've been able to bring the power to Super Saiyan God 100%. For that reason, your blows can't do anything to me, and the regeneration's autonomous makes me recover instantly.
Wow, you've got a lot of secrets. I want to check to see what I can do against Super Saiyan God Rose. This time I don't plan to underestimate you.
Goku would instantly increase his power, the dimension shaking as the power Goku released was madness. The entire dimension would crack and would give a red color, because this time Kakarot's power as well as Goku's were forming a single being, or Goku was absorbing Kakarot's power, including his essence. Hey Goku, the power of the Super Saiyan God is incredible, but I gotta confess, there's power beyond the Super Saiyan God, and it's known as the Super Saiyan Beast, or even the Super Saiyan Chaos.
Wow, I've never heard of a transformation like that. It seems interesting, but how do I know this is all that you've lied to me? I don't understand.
I gotta confess, I don't know how I know this knowledge, but only the requirement that the same warrior be consciousness of 2, and only one of them has to absorb the other consciousness to obtain the power of a priest, since it's said that that power is similar to omnipotence.
No, I'm not gonna let you absorb me! If you want to finish me, it won't be easy.
Since I have to be more powerful, you can try, but it'll be useless. Ha! If you have this opportunity given to me a few years ago, I'd definitely taken it. But believe me, at this moment, you've been able to win me. For that reason, I want you to absorb me, because if you don't, I'll disappear anyway. So I want my life to actually be useful.
You'll disappear? How? You and I are one being. You can't disappear unless I die. I don't plan to, so explain yourself.
A few weeks ago, I planned to realize that we remained separate for the majority of your life. We weren't able to unite our essence 100%, but my soul's cracked. When I don't have enough capacity to retain it, my soul, essence, and power will vanish like it never existed. No, damn! It can't be happening. You better not say something stupid, otherwise, like you told me before, I was a fool to have you fight. This is my fault. Damn it, I'm really sorry. Ha! For that damn reason, I don't want you to know, but don't worry, because for me, it'll be a pleasure to crush those gods with this power. Damn, I swear that I'll finish with those bastards who betrayed us. If none of this happened, you'd still be in the corner of my consciousness. You have nothing to regret, because in this short time, you've been the best thing for me. The best Saiyan with the most fun of fights. You can't imagine the helplessness when I wasn't able to do anything in your body. Goku would continue to absorb the power of his counterpart, with the intention of destroying the entire angel dimension completely. Gohan managed to master the beast state and it wasn't able to deplete any of his energy. Goten had achieved Super Saiyan Blue, leaving Gohan surprised by the progress of his brother. Wow, Goten, you amaze me. You've been able to get all these things for Super Saiyan and could hold the divine energy. I'm proud of you. Thanks, brother, but it's not enough. I need more power to get rid of these bastards who call themselves the gods of destruction. Goten, definitely your essence has changed. I don't judge you, even though you have a pure heart, but you want to end these miserable lives. Thank you, brother, for not judging me, but we got to continue our training. I'm sure we'll be able to get out soon. In the outside world, on the planet of Beerus, he was next to Whis walking over to his planet. His expression was of tension because the news of the Oracle Fish, his temperament drastically changed, even starting to be a little paranoid. Mr. Beerus, it would be better to calm down because in this case he isn't able to control his emotions. This will be worse. Son Goku and his children are wanting to destroy our barrier. Keep calm. Join the other gods. It's the only way to end Son Goku's life once and for all. You're right. Even I'm the most powerful god of the 12 universes. There's nothing to have. I gotta concentrate. That damn mortal must not generate these emotions in me. Beerus would close his eyes and stabilize his emotions. Over the planet, though, an incredible power would make him rumble, even destroying the celestial bodies around him. All this would be caused by the Prince of the Saiyans releasing the power of a god of destruction while his aura rose over the place. Well, this is amazing. I didn't think Mr. Vegeta could access the status of a god of destruction in only 3 weeks. Definitely these Saiyans are full of surprises. Apparently the energy of the destruction I've been able to grant you has been able to achieve this state beyond the god of destruction. Vegeta, how do you like that power? Are you satisfied or not with it? Thanks, Mr. Beerus, for granting me the training of a god of destruction, since there would be no other power like this if it hadn't been for you. I'm glad you're thankful. Unlike that damn Goku, you know your priorities in this universe. I hope you become more powerful. In this case, at some point, Goku's able to get out of here. Mr. Beerus, I've listened to your conversation with Whis, but with the respect you deserve, I doubt Kakarot can leave, since he's reinforced by divine energy of the 12 angels. For a mortal to try, it's impossible. Nothing he could do will be useful. Of course, I understand your viewpoint, but what Mr. Beerus is worried about is that the Oracle Fish informs him of the catastrophe of a Super Saiyan God. Although, of course, they are not always correct, the fact that Son Goku is in another dimension, we know he'll try to become more powerful to destroy it. I promise I'll give everything of myself to keep that damn insect not be able to generate destruction in my universe. Whis, keep training me. I'm sure that Kakarot's still alive. He'll be training. I agree with you, Mr. Vegeta. The persistence of him is something to admire. Don't worry, though. I'll plan to train you, and this will be something that'll make you more powerful. Whis, I'll also join the training, because if I have a great training partner with similar power to mine, then that means we'll grow our power, and that'll make Vegeta more powerful, so he's at my level. Mr. Beerus, the respect you deserve, I'm sure at your level right now, with all due respect, I think I'm capable of beating you at 100% of my power. Because being a Saiyan of my power never stops growing. Ha! Vegeta, for what I'm realizing, you do have guts. But that's impossible for you to beat me. I've trained for millions of years. It doesn't matter if you're a prodigy. Training time is unmatched. I agree with Mr. Beerus, though I would love to see your limit, since Beerus-sama, being the most powerful god of the 12 universes, has millions of years, he doesn't use 100% of his power, and this training will be able to analyze his weak points. Fine by me. Since I've always wanted to face Beerus in a one-on-one battle, I promise to use every last drop of my energy. That's fine with me, because if you're not able to use all your power, I'll end your life in one fell swoop, so get ready. Beerus would get in a battle pose while starting to let his energy flow through his body. Vegeta would likewise get in a battle pose, starting to increase his power in the Ultra Ego. I'm ready. Just hope you're ready, Beerus. Don't have to tell me that. I'll defeat you without realizing your defeat. Both warriors rushed each other, exchanging thousands of blows over the battlefield. They even possessed the energy of destruction, and when Vegeta approached Beerus' aura, his body began to be affected. Beerus' energy was more powerful and destructive, and Vegeta at a great speed would take distance. In front of him, Beerus would connect a blow, making him fall, destroying everything around him, while Beerus would descend. Well, you're still immortal after all. Since you don't require the power to stand up, I gotta confess I use 45% of my power. That's something immortals should be proud of. A great purple aura would be released over the place, and a bigger power would fall down, since this time Vegeta would start to take his body to the limit, and the intention wasn't to clown against Beerus. Training in the dimension though, Goku was able to assimilate all the power of Kakarot, and he would access Super Saiyan God of Chaos, which would turn his body silver and his musculature increase. The power of Goku on this occasion would be seen by his children, who would stop their training, since a great pressure would fall on them.
Wow, this is the power of our father. I feel like the whole body's destroyed. I can't believe that this power is able to end these miserable gods. I gotta confess, the power of Dad. I agree with you, Goten. No god will be able to do something against us.
Goku would continue to increase his power, and for a few brief moments on a red color, due to increased power was running through it. He would scream, accompanied by a few roars and explosions over the place, leaving his children surprised, who were able to take a long distance, but because they were closer, they'd be completely crushed. An explosion generated would be seen by Goku in a transformation that made him look imposing, while his whole body was giving off an incredible pressure.
So this is the Super Saiyan of Chaos.
Gohan, Goten, we gotta leave. We'll only stay for a few months to master our transformations, so put effort into these last months.
Of course, Father, but the power you have is madness. My legs are shaking in front of you. If my legs tremble, then I can withstand the pressure. If I am succeeding, the pressure of the gods will be nothing, because Dad's more powerful. Don't worry, I'm here to protect you. I promise that this time we'll finish those bastards who turn their back on us.
Son Goku's family would start training with the intention of leaving once and for all. Returning to the battle of Beerus and Vegeta, the winner was clear that it was Beerus, since through the battle he'd been able to keep Vegeta at bay, while his destructive energy was able to overshadow Vegeta's. You have great potential, but the mistake that the Saiyans always make is to rush long before they've mastered their power. For that simple reason, you've lost, since you don't manage to master 30% of the energy of a god of destruction. Vegeta would stand, his body expelling blood, which would make him fall to the ground out of combat. With a little more training, Vegeta's power could increase greatly, but we gotta not trust ourselves. I'm sure the Oracle Fish premonition will come true, and we have to end Son Goku's life once and for all. We're not sure about that, Mr. Beerus. Although Mr. Goku has a great potential, I doubt that very much he'll be able to destroy that dimension. Since it is formed with the energy of a guardian angel, it is practically impossible for a mortal. I hope you're right, Whis, because in the case Goku's able to escape from that dimension, it'll be the most destructive battle that the gods and angels have. In any case, it'd be better to organize a meeting with the gods and angels to keep us alert. In that same way, their gods are subject to rigorous training. You're right, Whis. Please communicate with the gods to hold a meeting on my planet in about 2 hours. Whis would begin to communicate with all the guardian angels. In returning to the dimension, few months have passed, and inside that time room, very differently, Goten would manage the perfect Ultra Instinct, and Gohan would take his limit to the Beast God, obtaining a power that would rival the angels of the gods of destruction.
A little more to get me out of here. I'm sure that we can do it if we try harder. I have to be able to master the Ultra Instinct completely, and with my training, we'll come to an end. Goku remained static. That's right, Goku was trying to control his energy drain of the Super Saiyan God of Chaos.
With this power, I'll crush the gods and angels. I want to end those bastards once and for all. Instantly, the dimension they were in turned red, and it was destroyed entirely because Goku on this occasion released a lot of his power. And his power was so incredible it would destroy that dimension without any difficulty. Outside, an overwhelming pressure would be felt by the 12 universes. Even being able to feel up the realm of Zeno-sama, living beings were affected by that great pressure. Since this time, hundreds of beings were seen dying. A much more powerful pressure would fall on the beings of divine energy, since it was for whom the pressure of Goku was directed. Meanwhile, from a large energy portal, it could be seen how 3 warriors were emanating great power. Well, so after long we've been able to return to Earth. But my children, go check out to see what you're afraid of. I'll go wait for you. Gohan and Goten went to their base state, heading at a great speed towards their home. Chi-Chi would be surprised to see her children.
How's it possible you're here? You guys were supposed to be sealed by Mr. Beerus and Whis. That's gotta be a mistake. What's going on? I told you, brother. Even Mom colluded with everything with those damn gods have done to us. It'd be better to end the scum once and for all.
Chi-Chi would be surprised by her son's words, but without time to react, Goten would grant her a strong kick, taking her life.
It'd be better if we go check if your wife hasn't conspired against you too. But I hope you're ready for the worst, brother, since we can't trust her either.
Gohan would be surprised by her brother's temper. Inside, he knew everything was telling him it was the right thing. So both brothers would leave Gohan's wife's house, but when they arrived at his wife's house, he wasn't able to find her or his daughter.
What the hell? Where the hell are they supposed to be? I don't want to think the worst.
On Beerus' planet, the deities with Vegeta had great pressure, and with maximum speed, Whis would head towards the planet Earth. And in the same way, they communicated with other gods and angels. I don't know who the enemy is, but if it's Kakarot, I gotta be able to defeat him. I'm the Prince of the Saiyans, I can't lose. Goku would notice the energy of the deities of the Universe 7 were beginning to approach him, so he would stand up with a slight smile while he was in the imperfect Ultra Instinct, which he'd chosen as his new base state. Gohan and Goten weren't able to locate his daughter and wife, and because of this, Gohan would begin to concentrate, trying to communicate telepathically with his wife, being able to receive a very weak signal since his vital signs were about to disappear.
Gohan, it's you! I always knew you'd be able to get out of that dimension and take revenge for everything they've done to you. Please, end them. I wasn't able to protect our daughter.
Gohan's anger would rise incredibly, accessing Super Saiyan God Beast, flying to a great speed where his wife was, and being able to arrive a few moments towards Bulma's house.
You better die, because if we set you free, I'm sure you'll do something crazy with the intention of those miserable people capable of returning to this reality.
Gohan will be able to finish all of you. He'll be able to pay for the ending of the life of my dear daughter. She was not able to blame for anything. You are miserable.
We know that the little girl wasn't to blame, but we had to end the traces of the blood of those miserable people, because in the future she could also be a threat. I hope that you know how to excuse me. This isn't personal, but we can't allow a new warrior with miserable Goku's tainted blood to appear again. I'm sorry.
Videl was on the surge of death. However, before Krillin was able to end Videl's life, an incredible aura would rise up over the place. Gohan was where everyone was, and with a smoke screen didn't show anything. Gohan, with a quick movement, was able to hold Krillin by the neck, strangling him with anger.
You damn good for nothing! My father always gave his life for you so you couldn't die so many times. But since you're nothing but an insect, you won't be able to survive on your own. Believe me, it won't make me the proudest to end your life.
Krillin wasn't able to do anything because Gohan's power was incredible compared to him, who was just a simple human.
But I don't want to end your life this way.
Gohan would release Krillin. Krillin, despite being amazed by his appearance, would come up with a plan.
I don't know how to escape from this damn place, but they are weakened. I have to be able to finish this wretch since he's been entrusted.
All these thoughts would go through his mind, where he'd begin to plan, starting to beg for mercy so that Gohan would let his guard down. Krillin would release his whole body, being able to levitate, without him being able to control it.
I never said I'd end your miserable life, so I hope you're ready, you worm. I want to see some excellent fireworks again.
Krillin would start screaming because of the pain Gohan was using in his levitation technique. It was much more bloodthirsty than the technique that Frieza used against Krillin.
Now, explode and become part of the nothingness of this universe, you damn good-for-nothing!
Krillin's body would explode into hundreds of pieces, leaving no trace of existence, and it would happen while the smokescreen continued. Since it dissipated, Bulma would realize this place where Videl was not, getting a little upset.
What are you supposed to be doing, Krillin? I didn't tell you to let Videl go. You just had to end his life, or do I have to do everything?
But with a big gust of wind, all the dust disappeared, and Bulma could see Gohan as she fell to the ground due to the impression.
But you're Gohan. How's it possible you're here? You're supposed to be locked in a dimension the gods created for you. So even you knew those bastards who've done this to us, and apparently you also agreed. I understand. It only remains for me to end your life. Don't say something stupid. They wouldn't be able to end my life. I'm your father's best friend, and even though we betrayed them, he'll still be able to forgive us.
Before Bulma can continue talking, Gohan with a huge energy beam went through her body with multiple parts falling to the ground.
You're very wrong, of course. Right now I'm gonna end your pathetic existence, the same way you guys tried to end us.
Bulma's face would change to that of incredible terror. The deities would arrive in front of where Goku was though, and he didn't look surprised, thanks to the premonitions the Oracle Fish had for the Saiyans. So apparently you've been able to get out of that dimension after millions of years. You surprised me. How were you able to forget last time we were able to beat you? What do you think it would be different this time? At the moment, the other gods and angels arrived on the battlefield, being surrounded by Goku, leaving him in the center.
You're right. Last time you were defeating me, but I ask you something. Who else can break their limits since the last time we met? I'll answer you myself. None of you can raise their power, and I'll show you.
If a flash, Goku would manage to connect a single blow to the gods, angels, and Vegeta, being able to make them fall, while in the center, Goku in that place was with a speed that was so monstrous, the angels were having a difficult time with the Ultra Instinct not seeing his movement.
That's what I mean, that no one here can overcome their limits except me, and this time I'll take it upon myself to end their lives once and for all.
Dim, how the hell could he hit us? I wasn't able to see anything, but I won't let him humiliate me. I'll end his existence myself. Vegeta would stand up, releasing all his power, because the whole Universe 7 would shake, being able to feel his energy of Gohan and Goten, who would quickly go to where Vegeta's power was released. Gohan would leave the place, and he would leave where his wife was in a safe place.
I promise I'll come back for you with the Dragon Balls, and we'll revive our daughter. I'm sorry for not being able to come back sooner. Don't worry, Gohan. I really appreciate that you came to save me.
Gohan, together with Goten, quickly left, while Bulma was disintegrated by Gohan, and for his part on the battlefield, Vegeta in his max power would pounce against Goku. These gods and angels would realize the difference in the powers were abysmal. I can't comprehend the power of Mr. Goku that he was able to achieve. Even his power can overshadow us completely. I agree with you, brother, but we can't allow a mere mortal to get away with it. If he's able to humiliate us, I'm sure he can seek revenge for everything we've done for him.
In that case, if the Saiyan is able to surpass us, we must be able to merge, so that the miserable mortal will know his pathetic place.
This conversation of the angels would be interrupted, realizing that each and every one of the gods rushed Goku in the same way, because Vegeta's power couldn't do anything. Goku, despite being at a numerical disadvantage, was able to make them look like children. And at that moment, an incredible power of Gohan and Goten would be released over the battlefield, being able to retrain the gods by 80% due to the pressure that the brothers radiated was on another level. Goku was staring at each and every one of the gods.
So you tried to attack me, and even though we weren't matched numerically, it'd be us 3 against you 12. And since Vegeta's garbage doesn't count, his power's lower than that of an ant.
Vegeta was pissed about what Goku said and pounced on him, but would be stopped by Beerus. Calm down, Vegeta. That damn Goku's trying to get you out of your mind. He's not able to face all of us equally.
Beerus, it's a pity, but I am afraid to inform you that you're wrong, since I haven't even used 2 new transformations that I've been able to achieve, but because of that stupid comment, I'll use the Perfect Ultra Instinct.
Goku would access Perfect Ultra Instinct, leaving everyone surprised by the power created by Goku's body. Definitely, we angels have to face Son Goku. His power is able to overcome the gods of destruction. Instantly, Goku's family would pounce on the gods. Despite being at a disadvantage, Goku and his sons humiliated their enemies. The gods, despite using techniques, they couldn't do anything to the mortals that were in front of them. And the gods, one after another, would fall. They were alive since their blows were not that of the intention to end their lives, but at a certain point, Goku would release more power, being able to freeze everything around him with his pressure. Gods, you'll have to ask yourself why you weren't able to end our lives, and the answer's simple. I just want to make you suffer, and I want to make you feel agonizing pain and make you beg for your lives. The tension in the place was evident, and the 12 guardian angels would enter the battlefield. I, the most powerful angel, accept that we don't have the power to face Son Goku. But what do you think of this? At that moment, 12 angels, gods, and even Vegeta were beginning to be attracted by a large pentagram that was formed throughout Universe 7. And all the warriors in the pentagram formed a single being. This in order to finish Son Goku and his children once and for all. This powerful warrior would form. Goku would smile. So they plan to form a single warrior by finishing me. It's a pity that they're not going to work, since their power's pathetic. No matter how many scumbags join, they'll still be scumbags. Father, this could be dangerous. We gotta stop them, because if they form one being, their powers will multiply greatly. No, Gohan, don't worry, because even if you guys haven't seen all the power I've been able to get, no matter how hard you try, you won't be able to do anything against us, so trust me. Okay, Father. Because of that, we'll always trust you, and I'm sure that we'll have the power to stand up. It's time to show you the power of the Super Saiyan Supreme God, the power that goes beyond the Guardian Angels. Get ready. Goku at this moment would make a great power, leaving his children surprised. This power that Goku released was crazy, because the power condensed in all his energy veins was incomparable. Even the new warrior had formed, it felt like his body was shaking, and Goku continued to increase his power, so much so that this time, the silhouette of the face of the Great Ozaru would be seen through Universe 7. The transition of Goku would leave the fusion of everyone present surprised. Despite the merging and the most powerful warrior of everything existing, he was not more wrong, since the power Goku released was incredible power. This power would break the barriers known before. Despite being in Universe 7, Goku could shake the 12 universes, destroying planets and stars. Zeno-sama's palace was no exception. This incredible pressure would fall on the planet. Daishinkan, releasing his power, would neutralize the great pressure that was destroying the palace of Zeno.
Daishinkan, what's going on? I can feel the release of power at the top. Has the new enemy forced you to use your power?
Zeno-sama with his guardians were surprised to realize, thanks to Daishinkan, an aberrant power would not destroy the palace.
Guards, reinforce Daishinkan. Apparently, he won't be able to stand for long.
Both guardians of their maximum speed were placed next to Daishinkan, expelling their power, making Daishinkan's barrier able to withstand the power being released by Universe 7. On the battlefield in Universe 7, a rumble would be seen with a great explosion, and after a few minutes, Goku could be seen transformed, never seen before by the divine beings of energy. Since this time, Goku, without holding back, would access Super Saiyan 10, known as the Chaos Saiyan.
You're not worthy to observe all my power. I want to show you the power that no matter how much you can achieve, you traitors are good for nothings. You'll be able to overcome this divine limit.
The fusion became Azael. Trembling with the aura of Goku, his aura reflected the hatred and death represented by the gods and beings of divine energy.
I'm not interested in the name of whoever the hell you are. I just know that you worms merged to be one being. I hope you're ready to fight. Otherwise, I'm going to use you as my punching bag.
Damn worm, don't underestimate me. I've trained for millions of years. You're immortal. Who couldn't do anything being avoided locking up? Even your wife betrayed you. You don't deserve it. A great flash would be seen over Earth, while after a great distance, a planet would be destroyed. Azael had been hit with an overwhelming power, making the planet completely destroyed.
I hope that this is not 100% of the power of the fusion of all the deities in Universe 12, because if so, I've been disappointed, you good-for-nothing bugs.
Too much blood would fall on the rock in which Azael would try to manage to fall, and the planet exploded. Azael, trying to stay on his feet, would, no matter with his efforts, couldn't stop shaking. No, damn. This can't happen to me. I'm a perfect warrior. I'm the union of all the divine energy beings. A mortal like Goku should be able to do something against me. I'll eradicate him. Azael would release more power, and his body could withstand. And because this would sacrifice speed than power, Goku would watch him intently. Goku, with several rays released, Azael would rush towards him. Well, apparently this anger couldn't allow him to use this situation. He's an idiot. With inept speed, he couldn't do anything against me. Despite sacrificing speed in exchange for power, with that power he could make me bleed. I'll show him. Goku would not move from the place. Azael would connect a sneaky punch on his face. Exploding in this place, while everything around him destroyed, Azael would laugh like a maniac. Ha 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 ha! That's what you get, you thinking confident. I released all my power. I've left you paralyzed. With a single blow, I'll end your life, and your children are still. Don't worry, I'll send you all to hell once and for all. Azael would approach Gohan and Goten, and he'd be confused, noticing Gohan's face would have a smile. You better not sing victory. Look behind you. You understand. Azael, at the moment of turning his head, would be surprised, and in that explosion it was possible to see Goku not receiving a single scratch from the most powerful blow of Azael. Was that your best shot? I hope you're kidding. If that's your best shot, you won't be able to even make me bleed. Azael would not move. That blow he used to cover all his power, and in Zeno-sama's palace, Daishoken would recover his power thanks to Zeno-sama. My lord, we must go to Universe 7. Something bad's happening, and that power released is capable of destroying everything.
I agree. We must do something against that power. If this is an enemy, for me it'd be difficult to defeat him.
That's right. We can't jump to conclusions, so we have to leave right now. The most powerful deities of Universe 12 would leave for Universe 7, in which all that power would be released. In the dimensional change for Daishoken, they'd arrive in a few seconds, surprised, analyzing the power that was released, and the subject lying on the ground very badly injured with serious wounds. Daishoken would analyze and would realize this was a fusion of the energy of divine beings. What's happened that these divine energy would merge into one? Surprises me that even the most, despite all the power that he has, they couldn't eliminate this abomination? Who is this guy?
This is bad. We can't let this happen. Otherwise, they could finish us off.
Zeno-sama would raise his hands with the intent of eliminating Son Goku, but this performing technique would do nothing. His aura would be released over the place, destroying everything around him. Well, despite you calling me my best friend, you tried to end my life. I didn't know that I had to trust beings of divine energy, since they're traitors. I've never thought about you, Zeno-sama. What? I can recognize that voice. Is that Son Goku? The most powerful Saiyan of the 12 universes? Even though you are considered a prodigy, it's unreal that you've achieved all that power in a short time.
Short period of time? I've heard you said that well, and you can't even imagine how many thousands of years I was sealed by these miserable beings who could seal me together with my children. I want you to intervene. I won't hesitate to end your life. Goku, I don't know if it was you, but that transformation changes your appearance. It's not like the Ultra Instinct as your hair turns a silver color. You gotta understand, we can't allow you to end the lives of divine energy beings.
Exactly. We agree giving them a lesson, but we can't allow the balance of the 12 universes to be broken. All the gods and angels die and the pillars of the universes won't exist.
If that's what you're worried about, there's nothing to worry about. My children and I are committed to being pillars of the 12 universes. The three of us will be the authorities in the balance of each universe.
Gohan and Goten would side with Goku, with a divine essence that could leave Daishoken and Zeno surprised. Their power was beyond an angel, even comparing themselves to Daishoken's.
We agree with our father. I also want to speak for my brother. We're willing to become the pillars of the 12 universes. Goku, I ask you to stop. I didn't know it was you, and for that reason I tried to eliminate you. I understand that you gotta be upset with the gods and angels, but I can't allow you to end their lives. If you continue destroying these divine energies, you won't leave me any alternative but to end you.
Mr. Goku, with Zeno-sama, I ask you most cordially to leave the warrior who's behind you, because if he refuses, even Zeno-sama and I will be forced to intervene in this battle, and though he's achieved great power, he won't be able to do anything against us.
Ha! Don't talk nonsense! I don't know the real reason why these protests against these miserable worms. I won't let you interfere in my revenge, because these bastards have been able to do something that has no forgiveness. Goku, without letting Daishoken and Zeno react, would move at a high speed towards Azael, being able to disintegrate him with a sphere of energy. And that energy was more destructive than the energy of destruction of the gods, because they would not be able to return to life even with the help of the Super Dragon Balls, since their souls were eliminated. At the precise instant, in the same way, a great power would be released by all the 12 universes. On this occasion, Daishoken would release all his power, and because that threat in front of him was of another level. While he had great power generated, a great explosion would be seen. Gohan and Goten quickly moved, and because this explosion was generated and was capable of causing great damage, while for Goku it was nothing.
We've warned you, mortal. I'm not interested in being friends with Zeno-sama. I have the authorization to end your life. I won't forgive you for ending my children. I swear you'll pay me.
Daishoken, I want you to end Son Goku and his children. We can't allow him to ignore our orders, but at home, you will not be able to end his life. Give me 5 minutes. I will accede to my combat form.
Don't worry, Lord, even though Goku's power is amazing, I doubt he could do anything against a gifted angel like me.
Daishoken would end his sentence with a big fist in his face, which would collide him to a planet, destroying the base completely, and fire and lava rose from the atmosphere. Well, that's the power of the most powerful guardian angel in all the universes. It's a pity that you can't do anything. In my training, I even planned to interfere with you. Daishoken had tried to stand up, blood was releasing from his body, and he couldn't stand firm, because on this occasion, no matter how great his efforts were, he couldn't do anything.
No, damn! How could he cause this great damage to me with a single blow? So that's why Zeno-sama is accessing his combat form. I didn't think this guy would increase his combat levels so much.
Gohan and Goten would instantly unleash all their power, intending to attack Daishoken and Zeno-sama. However, they'd be stopped by their father. No, my children! I don't want you to get your hands dirty with these worms. It's not worth it. I'll take care of these miserable ones so you can enjoy the combat. There's no problem. Daishoken would try to stand and his gaze would be blurry, with blood pouring from his body.
Damn it, this worm's making fun of us. Zeno-sama accesses all his power. I'm sure we'll sweep the floor with you, Goku.
From your terrified expression, I can tell you'll die. But don't worry, I'll wait for that dwarf to achieve his combat form so that they both fight against me. Goku would lie on a rock waiting for Zeno-sama to access his combat form, max power, while Daishoken in these few minutes would try to recover completely. After a few moments, a great light would be seen, just like the combat form of the great Zeno-sama would make an appearance. Even though you're my best friend, I can't allow you to go against us, so this place will be the place of your death. 2 flashes rushed against Goku. Daishoken would rush with Zeno-sama as a team, with the intention of ending Goku's life. Goku and Super Saiyan 10 would dodge their blows, and the blows that were able to reach him didn't do the slightest damage. Goku would release a great pressure of gravity, leaving them completely immobilized. I thought that calling yourself the most powerful beings in the 12 universes, you'd have more power, but you turned out to be some worms, so you die. Goku with a quadruple attack would finish them off, and Goku would return to his base state. It's over. We can't allow the imbalance to form in the 12 universes, so from now on I'll be the new king of everything. I want you to maintain balance in all the 12 universes. Of course, Father, as you order. It's extremely powerful warriors show up and endanger the existence, they'll be allowed to end their lives completely. No problem. So the family of Goku would be the new divine family of the 12 universes. At the precise moment that both Saiyan warriors, the shadow creatures, collided their attacks, the explosion resulting from the collision of the attacks left a crater on the battlefield, while a dense smoke obscured the view. Amidst the haze, Goku with a serious but confident expression, and Vegeta, also with a confident expression of having destroyed the shadow creatures with his attacks, stood on guard, ready to face whatever emerged from this smoke.
Suddenly, as soon as the smoke dissipated from the battlefield, the shadowy creatures emerged unharmed, floating in the air with an even more intense presence. Their forms twisted, revealing an even darker and more powerful transformation. Now, with eyes glowing with a more intense light, the shadow creatures uttered a great malevolent laugh and moved towards Goku and Vegeta with renowned ferocity. The sky was covered with dark clouds, and lightning intermittently illuminated the scene. The creatures, once scattered, began to converge into a chaotic mass. Their bodies intertwined and merged, creating a monstrous entity that emanated a dark and malevolent aura. The fusion of the creatures was completed with a loud roar, and before Goku and Vegeta emerged, a nightmarish creature. The fused creature had a grotesque figure, with twisted limbs and glowing eyes filled with evil. Its body was enveloped in a halo of dark energy, which distorted the space around it. The ground shook with every step he took, and the waves of evil energy generated chaos on the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta exchanged determined glances. They knew they faced an unprecedented threat. The fusion of the creatures had given rise to a being of incredible power and speed. Goku frowned, clenching his fists, while Vegeta gave a cocky grin. Kakarot, looks like things have become interesting. I didn't expect to have to face something like this. Yes, Vegeta, this creature's no joke. We're gonna have to give it our all. Both warriors raised their ki to the maximum, surrounding themselves with an intense golden and blue aura. Their hair stood on end and the earth trembled under the pressure of their combined power. The fused creature responded with a guttural laugh and advanced towards them with great strides. Come on, Vegeta, let's attack together and put an end to this! For once, Kakarot, I agree. The battle reached its climax as Goku and Vegeta, enveloped in their golden and blue auras, launched themselves towards the fused creature. Every punch and burst of energy echoed through the air, creating a spectacle of flashes and booms. The creature, however, was not easy to defeat. Its agility and strength were astounding, dodging the Saiyan's attacks with ease. Vegeta, we need to find an opening in its defense! Focus! I know, Kakarot, but this thing's fast! The fused creature responded with a ripping attack, sending the Saiyans flying across the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, however, quickly recovered and stood up with renewed determination. We can't underestimate this thing! Come on, Vegeta! Let's attack together! Alright, Kakarot. Together we'll defeat it! Goku nodded and they concentrated their energies into an amazing combined attack. A brilliant flash of light and blue light materialized in their hands, growing with each second. The fused creature, seeing the imminent threat, tried to counterattack, but it was too late. Kame! Final Flash! The powerful beam of combined energy shot towards the fused creature, illuminating the dark battle with its radiance. However, just when impact seemed inevitable, the creature, in the last act of desperation, deployed a dark shield that managed to resist the Saiyan's assault. The result explosion sent Goku and Vegeta flying backwards, returning them to their base form, leaving them dazed and severely injured on the ground. The fused creature, though weakened, struggled to its feet, its malevolent aura flickering, but far from fading completely. Vegeta, we're in trouble! This thing's stronger than we thought! Vegeta, however, lay motionless on the ground with visible wounds and his aura rapidly diminishing. Vegeta! Don't give up, Vegeta! The fused creature, slowly recovering, calmly approached towards Vegeta with a palpable malevolence in its glowing eyes. Your efforts are futile. I'm the amalgam of darkness itself. This is the end of you, Saiyan Prince. Goku, full of rage and despair, stood up and threw himself towards the creature with what was left of his strength. However, the creature, with a simple wave of its hand, unleashed a wave of dark energy that enveloped Kakarot and threw him violently to the ground. Vegeta, we need a plan. The fused creature approached Vegeta, lifting him off the ground with one hand. The Saiyan Prince, barely conscious, opened his eyes to meet the cold, merciless gaze of his energy. Kakarot, do whatever it takes. The fused creature, with a contemptuous gesture, threw Vegeta back to the ground, leaving him on the verge of death.
The battle, which had begun with hope, now became bleaker than ever. With his partner down and his own strength waning, Kakarot faced a strength that seemed insurmountable. Goku, sensing the desperation of the situation, recalled the hermit seeds he carried with him. The moment the fused creature came speeding towards him, Goku managed to dodge the blow swiftly, approached Vegeta and handed him one of the valuable seeds. "Vegeta, eat this! It'll give you the energy to keep fighting!" At the same time, Goku also consumed one of the seeds. Vegeta, barely conscious, accepted the seed and consumed it urgently. The hermit seed acted quickly, healing Vegeta's wounds and restoring his life energy. Flashes of golden light surrounded the Saiyan Prince as he stood up, his eyes regaining determination.
Kakarot, don't underestimate me. I can keep fighting.
"Fine, Vegeta, but we need something else to defeat this creature. Do you remember the fusion technique?" Vegeta frowned but nodded in understanding. Both Saiyans positioned themselves in front of the fused creature, focusing their energies. "Vegeta, let's do it! Let's merge!"
I don't think it'll come to this, Kakarot, but I have no choice.
Both warriors stood side by side, raising their hands into the front and began to concentrate their energies. The atmosphere was filled with a brilliant glow as the two Saiyans merged into a single entity. The resulting figure was a perfect combination of Goku and Vegeta, with a powerful golden aura enveloping their fused bodies. This fusion creature showed signs of unease as it witnessed the transformation. The new Saiyan entity turned to it with a determined look. The fusion between Goku and Vegeta, known as Gogeta, and his Super Saiyan form was now evident. Gogeta, with the combined voice of Goku and Vegeta, said, "Prepare for defeat. We're the fusion of the Saiyans, and there's nothing we cannot overcome." With a unified shout, the Saiyan fusion lunged towards the fused creature with incredible speed and power. The battle between the Saiyan fusion and the fused creature erupted into a frenzy of power and skill. Every move, every blow, every burst of energy shook the battlefield. The earth trembled under the intensity of the confrontation, and the sky lit up with the sparks of energy released during the fight. Gogeta, with the combination of Goku's cunning and Vegeta's determination, proved to be an unstoppable force. However, the fused creature did not yield easily, showing a resilience that defied expectations. Both contenders were at a stalemate, each pushing their limits to the max. Goku and Vegeta, in their fused form, began to feel the need to unleash more power to overcome their more formidable foe. In a moment of perfect synchronization, both Saiyans raised their ki to the limit, and the atmosphere itself began to be distorted with the built-up pressure.
It's time to take this to the next level!
In a dazzling flash, the Saiyan fusion underwent an astonishing metamorphosis. His once golden hair now turned sapphire blue, and his aura took on a heavenly hue. The transformation to Super Saiyan Blue had taken place. The fused creature recoiled momentarily as it witnessed the new form. Shocked by the magnitude of the power unleashed, however, the Saiyan fusion showed no mercy and lunged towards with dizzying speed.
Prepare for true Saiyan strength!
The attacks and counterattacks reached a speed that defied perception. The fused creature, despite its previous endurance, was outmatched by the speed and aggressiveness of the Saiyan fusion in its Super Saiyan Blue form. The battle had not yet come to an end. In a final attempt to resist, the fused creature unleashed its own dark power, enveloping the Saiyan fusion in a spiral of chaotic energy. Gogeta, in response, concentrated his energy to the maximum in an act of rage.
Let's go farther!
The energy surrounding the Saiyan fusion intensified and exploded in a dazzling burst. The bright blue aura became more intense, and the power of the Saiyan fusion increased to unimaginable levels. The sky lit up with glows and waves of energy as the fused creature faced Gogeta's unstoppable strength. However, in an unexpected twist, the creature began to build up a dark and sinister energy, revealing a hidden power.
Your resistance is impressive, Saiyans, but you have not seen my true potential.
The fused creature transformed, its fusion distorting further. A black aura filled with malevolence surrounded its body as its eyes glowed with terrifying intensity.
What the hell is it doing?
The fused creature, now imbued with a new dark power, lunged at Gogeta with surprising speed. Despite Gogeta's formidable strength in his Super Saiyan Blue form, the fused creature seemed to be able to anticipate even more.
Now you'll experience true darkness.
Gogeta sensed the threat,
deciding to take his own power to the extreme. In a blink of an eye, he activated the technique, the Kaioken. His blue aura multiplied into a mixture of blue and red, and the intensity of the battle reached levels never seen before.
It's time to put an end to this! Kaioken!
Gogeta's speed and strength multiplied exponentially, and the fused creature was momentarily caught off guard. However, the creature counterattacked with a blast of dark energy that enveloped Gogeta, but he struggled to resist. Gogeta, in his Kaioken state, felt the need to raise his power even higher. Thus, his ki increased, causing the earth to tremble from such immense power, destroying mountains and lifting rocks into the skies. At that precise moment, he disappeared from the sight of the fused creature, appearing from behind and creating a glowing bluish sphere of energy that materialized between his hands.
Final Kamehameha!
The energy sphere impacted against the fused creature with unparalleled force. The resulting explosion lit up the sky, dispersed the creature's dark energy. However, when the light faded, the fused creature emerged once again, albeit visibly weakened.
Do not underestimate my power, Saiyans. I have attained a form beyond your comprehension.
Gogeta, sensing the gravity of the situation, prepared for the next confrontation. The battle, far from over, was entering even more dangerous terrain, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance in this fierce struggle between light and darkness. The battlefield was plunged into utter chaos, with destructive shockwaves reverberating throughout space. Gogeta, with his combined aura of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken, was moving at speeds that defied perception. The fused creature, despite his new enhanced form, was momentarily outmatched by the Saiyan warrior's speed.
Darkness cannot defeat light. It's time to seal your fate.
Though weakened, the fused creature did not give up. With impressive speed, it lunged towards Gogeta, unleashing a series of dark attacks that even defied the Kaioken's speed.
Your light is but a fleeting glimmer. In the eternity of darkness, you will suffer.
Gogeta, with sharp reflexes at precise moments, will dodge the fused creature's attacks. The battle reached an even greater frenzy, with a clash of fists and kicks creating waves of energy that swept the surrounding landscape. The once dark and stormy sky were illuminated by the flashes on the contest. In the beginning of the moment of opportunity, Gogeta channeled the Kaioken to an even higher level. His aura became more intense, mixing blue with red in a dazzling display. Seeing the new burst of power, the fused creature recoiled momentarily, a moment Gogeta took advantage of to gather energy.
This is the limit of your darkness. Prepare for the end.
Gogeta, with unmatched speed, appeared in front of the fused creature, concentrating his energy to a single point. A glowing sphere of energy formed between his hands, but this time, the sphere was not blue, it was a mixture of colors. A fusion of the power of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken.
Kaioken 20 times! Final Kamehameha!
The now larger, more powerful energy sphere hurled with impressive speed towards the fused creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the entire horizon, causing the mountains and valleys to be enveloped in a dazzling glow. When the light faded, the fused creature lay defeated on the ground. Its dark aura completely dissipated. Gogeta, with his Super Saiyan Blue form and Kaioken still activated, watched cautiously. The intense battle had come to an end, but the price of the confrontation was reflected in the devastated earth and the wear and tear visible on the Saiyan warrior.
I hope that was enough. This universe can't take any more of this destruction.
With a flash, Gogeta deactivated the Kaioken and returned to his base form. As silence descended over the battlefield, the lingering question was whether the threat had truly been eliminated or if there was still challenges to be faced in the vast cosmos. Goku and Vegeta, feeling that the threat had been neutralized for the moment, separated from the Saiyan fusion. The intensity of the battle had left both Saiyans exhausted, but their attention was diverted to a disturbing reality. In the corner of their vision, they watched as a small dark creature made its way towards where Gohan and Broly were standing. Vegeta, something's happening! We must get there fast!
Those two are in trouble if that thing gets to them. Let's go, Goku!
Both Saiyans, despite their exhaustion, dashed towards Gohan and Broly's location with as much speed as possible. As they approached, they could see the dark creature getting closer and closer to the two warriors. Gohan, who was training with Broly in an attempt to increase his skills, noticed Goku and Vegeta's arrival urgently.
Vegeta, something's coming!
Broly, with his piercing gaze, had also sensed the approaching threat.
Evil creature, we will fight!
The small dark creature, noticing the presence of the Saiyans, stopped advancing and displayed a malevolent laugh.
Ha ha ha! Your victory was short-lived. This is only the first of many surprises.
Before they could react, the dark creature split into multiple smaller shadows, surrounding Gohan and Broly with astonishing speed.
Watch out, Broly! They're fast and dangerous!
We will fight! We won't let them defeat us!
Goku and Vegeta, arriving just in time, joined the battle. The battle became a chaotic dance of blows and explosions as the Saiyans fought the dark shadows that multiplied endlessly.
Let's finish this quickly! Gohan, Broly, stay strong!
Got it, Vegeta!
Broly, unleashing his titanic power, emitted a wave of energy that temporarily dispersed the dark shadows. However, the dark creature, in a final act of desperation, merged back into a larger, more powerful form.
My shadows cannot be so easily defeated. The real battle has just begun.
The shadow creature, now strengthened and more menacing than ever, faced the four Saiyan warriors with palpable malevolence. Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta moved into battle stance, facing the shadow creature with determination.
Come on, guys! Let's work together and put an end to this menace once and for all!
Broly growled in agreement, his power emanating from him with an imposing force. Goku and Vegeta, despite their earlier exhaustion, raised their energies ready for the battle ahead. The shadow creature, with a sinister laugh, lunged towards them with surprising speed. The Saiyans responded with a coordinated assault, launching energy blasts and performing combo attacks. However, the shadow creature was agile and dodged their attacks with ease.
We can't let this thing get away. Concentrate on attacking together.
You're right, Vegeta. If we fight them as a team, we can overcome anything.
The four Saiyans synchronized their movements, attacking in harmony. Broly unloaded titanic blows. Gohan used his agility and advanced techniques, while Goku and Vegeta coordinated their energies to create a combined assault. Despite their efforts, the shadow creature proved to be resilient and adaptable. It defended with cunning and counterattacked with fury. In a moment of tension, the shadow creature unleashed a dark glow that enveloped its form, transforming to an even more powerful and monstrous version.
It's getting stronger again!
It doesn't matter. I'll destroy it.
The battle intensified as the shadow creature, in its enhanced form, launched waves of dark energy and unleashed more devastating attacks. The Saiyans, however, did not back down. Despite the gravity of the situation, their determination burned stronger than ever.
There's no limit to our strength when we fight together! Come on, guys, we can't lose!
This thing doesn't know who it's messing with. Get ready for what's coming.
Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta channeled their energies to the maximum, shaking the earth under the intensity of their combined power. In a unified act, the four Saiyans raised their ki to the limit and lunged towards the shadow creature with indomitable resolve. The shadow creature, now in its strengthened form, unleashed a dark energy that enveloped Broly, possessing the mighty Saiyan with a malevolent influence. Broly, his eyes now awash with shadows, stood before the other Saiyans with a menacing presence.
Broly, I won't let you be used as a puppet. We must save him. We won't let this thing manipulate Broly. Come on, guys. Let's protect ourselves and save our friend.
This is getting more complicated than I thought. But no matter, we won't let the darkness win.
The battle began with the shadow creature using Broly's immense power against them. The controlled Saiyans' attacks were fierce, with waves of energy and bursts of ki that challenged even the most experienced warriors. The Saiyans dodged and counterattacked, but the shadow creature took advantage of Broly's brute strength to counter his moves.
We must weaken it enough to free Broly! Dad, Vegeta, let's follow the plan and attack in unison!
The three Saiyans coordinated, launching a series of swift and powerful attacks. However, the shadow creature moved with agility, dodging most of the blows and countering with blows of its own. Broly, under the influence of the dark possession, was showing superhuman endurance.
It's not enough! Broly, fight against this influence!
We must force him to break free. We're gonna give it our all.
In a moment of desperation, the Saiyans decided to raise their powers to the maximum. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan second stage, Gohan advanced his mystical form, and Vegeta unleashed his own power into Super Saiyan second stage. The three Saiyans surrounded Broly, launching a combination of flurry of powerful attacks.
Broly, resist! Don't let their darkness consume you!
The shadow creature, feeling the combined presence of the three Saiyan warriors, showed signs of weakness. However, in a desperate act, the dark energy intensified its hold on Broly, raising its power even higher, unleashing unbridled fury.
We can't give up! We're going to free Broly, whatever it takes!
The battle reached its climax as the three Saiyan warriors, Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, clashed against the shadow creature possessing Broly. The unleashed energy created a spectacle of flashes, explosions, and shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Goku, with his power as a Super Saiyan, moved with astonishing speed, launched energy blasts and accurate punches at the shadow creature. Gohan, in his mystical form, unleashed a combination of fast attacks and advanced techniques, seeking to weaken the dark possession that controlled Broly. Vegeta, in his Super Saiyan second phase form, displayed titanic power, coordinating his attacks with calculated precision.
Broly, listen to my voice! Don't be consumed by this darkness!
The shadow creature, however, resisted tenaciously, harnessing Broly's brute strength and ferocity to counter the Saiyan's attacks. Broly, under the dark possession, responded with unstoppable strength, his attacks more intense and uncontrolled.
We need to weaken that possession! Come on, guys, keep up the pressure!
This dark power won't last forever. We must resist.
The battle grew more frantic. With each passing moment, the shadow creature, sensing the threat of the Saiyans, intensified its hold on Broly, fusing its dark energy with the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan.
We can't back down now! Broly's our friend, and we won't let this darkness control him!
In a moment of perfect synchronization, the three Saiyans focused their energies into a coordinated attack. Goku launched a Kamehameha, Gohan unleashed a Masenko, and Vegeta fired a final flash, all aimed at the shadow creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the battlefield, creating an energy storm. However, when the light faded, the shadow creature and Broly still stood, visibly weakened but far from defeated.
It's not enough! We must find a way to free Broly from this possession!
At that moment, the shadow creature, taking advantage of the Saiyan's momentary weakness, launched a surprise attack, sending Goku and Gohan to the ground. Vegeta, with his rage in his eyes, stood up determined.
Enough's enough! We won't let this thing continue to manipulate Broly.
Vegeta concentrated his ki to the maximum, unleashing a new transformation. His intense blue aura transformed into an even brighter and more powerful hue.
Super Saiyan Blue!
The atmosphere itself seemed to tremble at the magnitude of the transformation. Vegeta, now in his evolved form, launched himself towards the shadow creature with renewed speed and power. Vegeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue evolved caused a dramatic change in the intensity of the battle. His bright blue aura flashed with overwhelming energy as he charged towards the shadowy creature and Broly, who was still under his influence.
It's time to put an end to this. Broly, I'll fight to free you from this darkness.
The shadow creature, sensing the threat posed by Super Saiyan Blue, adopted a defensive stance. On the other hand, Broly, his eyes still darkened, prepared to face Vegeta. Vegeta unleashed a flurry of quick and precise attacks, combining punches and kicks with astonishing speed. Each move was charged with the strength of the new form, and the shadow creature was forced to retreat in the face of Vegeta's fury.
Broly, regain control. I'll not allow this darkness to consume you.
Broly, under the influence of the dark possession, responded with impressive stamina. His attacks were brutal and uncontrolled, but Vegeta moved with a dexterity that defied expectations.
I need to find an opening in this possession.
In an act of bravery, Vegeta launched himself directly towards Broly. Their fists collided forcefully, and Vegeta, using all his skill, made precise strikes that temporarily weakened the dark influence.
Broly, fight this! You're stronger than this darkness!
The shadowy creature, seeing Vegeta's resistance, increased his energy and fused even more with Broly. Now the dark influence was more entrenched than ever, and Broly unleashed an explosion of wild power.
You can't stop me, Saiyan Prince!
Vegeta, not backing down, continued to engage Broly. The battle reached new heights as both warriors unleashed their most powerful attacks. Vegeta launched a Big Bang attack while Broly responded with a gigantic charge of dark energy. The collision of energies generated a huge explosion that blanketed the area. After the dust settled, Vegeta lay on the ground, clearly exhausted but not giving up.
I can't lose. My determination's stronger than your darkness.
The battle between Vegeta and Broly, who was possessed by the shadow creature, reached a critical point. The overflowing energy of the confrontation was spreading across the battlefield, distorting the air and creating palpable tension. At that crucial moment, Goku found himself regaining consciousness, stood up, and immediately went to Saiyan's prince's side.
Vegeta, let's go! Let's give it all we've got!
Goku's transformation into Super Saiyan Phase 2 and joined the fray. The Shadow Creature, seeing the arrival of another Saiyan warrior, prepared to face the new threat.
Kakarot, you're just in time. This thing has gotten stronger with Broly.
We'll face it together! Broly, we won't let this darkness control you!
The three Saiyans stood in formation, ready to deal with the Shadow Creature fused with Broly. The intensity of the conflict increased even more with flashes of energy and clashes of fists echoing throughout the battlefield.
Come on, Kakarot, let's attack in unison and free Broly.
I got it, Vegeta! Together, we'll free him!
The Saiyans coordinated their attacks, launching a combined blast towards the Shadow Creature. Despite their efforts, Broly's dark possession was still resisting, fueled by the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan. Broly, under the influence of the Shadow Creature, unleashed an uncontrolled fury. His attacks were unpredictable and devastating, putting the Saiyans on the defensive. Goku, Vegeta, and the Shadow Creature continued to exchange energy blasts and powerful blows.
Vegeta, we must break that possession! We can't let Broly fall into darkness!
Roger that, Kakarot. Let's keep attacking together.
Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, the fiery aura of the Saiyans lit up the sky, a visual manifestation of their mammoth power. Goku and Vegeta, feeling the weight of the battle, decided to take it a step further. They joined their energies in a symphony of power, a final bid to tear apart the shadows enveloping the evil presence. The Shadow Creature, on the brink of the abyss, responded with desperation. It raised its own power and the darkness churned with intensity as it struggled to resist the combined onslaught of the Saiyans. The clash of energies created a cataclysm of flashes and booms, shaking the battlefield to its core. At that critical moment, the energy explosion was unleashed with dazzling magnificence. The earth shook, and the shockwaves swept across the landscape, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, enveloped in the blanket of the explosion, were momentarily eclipsed by the blinding light and dancing shadow. When the shimmering luminosity faded, the Saiyans found themselves faced with a new scenario. On the ground lay Broly, his figure shrouded in a residual haze of the contest. The dark aura that had consumed him had finally dissipated. Stillness reigned on the battlefield. As the warriors approached with worried looks, the formidable warrior who now resisted, his power darkened, finally silenced.
We did it, Vegeta! Broly's free!
Yes, but this Shadow Creature's still a problem. We can't let our guard down.
Vegeta nodded grimly as they watched Broly, who lay on the ground, slowly recovering from the intense battle. However, at that moment of apparent calm, the Shadow Creature, cunning and unnoticed, had left Broly's possession to seek a new host. The dark entity swiftly swept into the shadows, unnoticed by the Saiyans, who still assessing their companion's condition. Silently, the Shadow Creature crept towards Gohan, who had been watching the battle from a distance. Gohan, oblivious to the threat looming over him, felt a shiver run down his spine, just as the Shadow Creature enveloped him with its dark presence. A momentary flash of its eyes indicated that something was terribly wrong. At that instant, Gohan, with a sudden alteration in his expression, went on guard without warning. His gaze, now posed by the Shadow Creature, glowed with a malevolence that contrasted with his gentle nature. Goku, noticing the sudden tension, turned towards Gohan, but before he could react, Gohan, under the influence of the Shadow Creature, moved with supernatural speed. The confrontation with Broly had left the Saiyans exhausted, and the Shadow Creature, seizing the opportunity, vanished into the darkness along with Gohan. Vegeta, realizing the situation, gritted his teeth in fury. The threat persisted, and now Gohan, a valuable ally, was in the hands of the shadows. Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for a new confrontation, aware that the battle had not yet come to an end. The tension in the air was palpable, as Goku and Vegeta, still worried about Broly, with determination, turned towards the place where the dark entity had vanished.
Damn it! Where'd that thing go?
I don't know, Vegeta, but we must find it before it hurts Gohan!
The two Saiyans, quick as the wind, rushed towards where Gohan had been standing, their senses alert. The Shadow Creature, now inside Gohan, emerged from the shadows with a sinister laugh.
Looks like they're not as cunning as they thought. Now I have a new toy for my plans.
Get out of Gohan, you damn creature! I'll not allow you to possess my son! Ha! You think you could stop me? My power possesses even more of your combined forces. Do not underestimate the Saiyans. We have overcome greater challenges than you. Leave Gohan and face your fate, creature. You'll not be victorious.
The shadow creature, now in control of Gohan, smiled malevolently before responding.
We'll see how long you can resist. Gohan is now an instrument of my will.
The shadow creature possessing Gohan unleashed a burst of dark energy that distorted the surrounding space. Goku and Vegeta suddenly found themselves during a chaotic confrontation, with Gohan now transformed into an instrument of the malevolent entity. The waves of energy radiating from Gohan's possessed figure created an ominous aura that filled the battlefield, defying the Saiyans' endurance and determination. The Saiyans, in their Super Saiyan Blue form, prepared for the impending clash. The shadow creature, using Gohan's body, moved with supernatural agility, dodging the Saiyans' first attacks with grace and malice. Gohan, his eyes now filled with darkness, lunged at Goku with astonishing speed. Goku blocked Gohan's first few blows with difficulty, feeling the enhanced strength and speed of his new controlled son. The fight was intense, each move charged with power and ferocity. Meanwhile, Vegeta positioned himself strategically, assessing the situation, looking for an opening to attack. The shadow creature, through Gohan, unleashed a flurry of attack, which devastating blows that kept Goku on the defensive. However, Goku's ability to adapt quickly to the battle allowed him to counter the attacks and counterattack with his own overwhelming power. Vegeta, sensing an opportunity, lunged at the shadow creature from an unexpected angle. However, the dark entity had sharp reflexes and deflected Vegeta's attack with ease, throwing Gohan against Goku as a distraction. The Shadow's creature's strategy paid off, as it took advantage of the distraction to hit Vegeta with a beam of dark energy. Vegeta, although he resisted the impact, was momentarily weakened. The entity, now with a malevolent smile, turned to him.
Damn it! This isn't over, shadow creature.
Goku, reacting quickly, stepped between the shadow creature and Vegeta.
Vegeta, hold on! We can't let this thing divide us.
The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos at its zone, released a dark aura that enveloped both Saiyans. The dark energy sought to confuse and weaken their senses. However, the Saiyans' instinctive connection to Ki enabled them to resist the dark influence. The battle raged in a frenzy of clashing colors and energies. Gohan, controlled by the shadow creature, moved with a mixture of speed and agility that defied the laws of physics. Goku and Vegeta, each focusing on their own battlefront, were trying to coordinate their attacks to free Gohan from the dark possession.
Gohan, fight this darkness! You're stronger than this!
Gohan, though showing flashes of resistance, was caught in an internal struggle between his will and the shadow creature's control. The battle grew more challenging. With each passing second, the shadow creature reveled in its ability to manipulate and corrupt one of Earth's mightiest warriors. Vegeta, recovering from the earlier onslaught, threw himself back into the fray. The shadow creature, however, anticipated his attack and gracefully dodged Vegeta's attempts to strike it. The dark entity counterattacked with a series of precise blows that forced Vegeta to retreat.
You damn shadow, don't underestimate the Prince of the Saiyans.
Goku, seeing his partner's difficulty, raised his power to the maximum. Dazzling energy emanated from his Super Saiyan Blue form as he prepared for a concentrated attack. The shadow creature, noticing the glowing threat, diverted its attention to Goku.
Vegeta, keep up the pressure! I'm gonna concentrate my energy to free Gohan!
Vegeta nodded and increased his offensive, distracting the shadow creature as Goku concentrated his power. The fight reached a new level of intensity, with each move echoing across the vast battlefield. The energy collided, creating shockwaves that distorted reality itself. Goku, eyes glowing with determination, unleashed his most powerful attack. A sphere of glowing blue energy formed in his outstretched hands. Charged with the combined strength of the Saiyans, the spear grew in size and the power as Goku had held it in place.
It's time to free Gohan!
The shadow creature, realizing the threat, moved quickly to stop Goku's attack. Vegeta, taking advantage of the distraction, lunged with renewed fury, looking for an opening to attack. The battle reached its climax when Goku released the energy sphere, ascending it directly towards the shadow creature. The energy sphere burst into a dazzling flash, illuminating the battlefield with intense light. Shockwaves swept through the darkness as Goku's purifying energy sought to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession. However, as the light faded and the earth stopped shaking, the shadow creature emerged seemingly unharmed. The dark entity, now irritated, turned to the Saiyans with a twisted laugh.
Is that all you can do? My power is unbreakable.
Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for the next assault. The battle, far from ending, dragged on into confrontation of epic proportions. Darkness and light collided in an endless clash, with the will of the Saiyans resisting against the entity that threatened to plunge them into the shadows. The dark creature, after resisting Goku's powerful attack, showed a malicious smile. A dark glow enveloped Gohan, and his body began to tremble with intensity. A guttural scream echoed through the air as the dark entity forced a unique transformation on the Saiyan warrior. Gohan, under the shadow creature's influence, contorted and his body was enveloped in a dark, feral energy. The earth trembled with the intensity of the transformation, and Gohan's figure began to change. Defined musculature, red eyes, a wild gaze, long gray hair, and emerging in the new form, Gohan Dark Beast. Vegeta and Goku, shocked by the unexpected evolution, instinctively recoiled from the overwhelming presence of Dark Gohan Beast. The shadow creature had accomplished what it could not do with Broly, unleash a unique and uncontrolled transformation on Gohan. Dark Beast Gohan, now freed from any hint of rationality, roared skyward, emitting an overwhelming energy that shook the battlefield. His eyes glowed with an animalistic intensity, and his posture indicated that human control was suppressed.
This can't be happening. What did that thing do?
The shadow creature managed to unlock something inside Gohan. This won't be easy.
The shadow creature, pleased with the success of its manipulation, watched the scene with satisfaction.
Now, witness my true power, the Saiyan Beast Warrior. How do you plan to stop him?
Dark Beast Gohan let out a deafening roar and lunged towards Vegeta with impressive speed. Dark Beast Gohan's attacks were ferociously savage, his brute strength and speed surpassing even Broly's most rampaging transformation. Vegeta, using his speed and agility, dodged Dark Beast Gohan's first attacks. However, the Saiyan Beast Warrior's ferocity was unpredictable, and Vegeta was forced to deploy all his skill to stay out of range of the devastating attacks. Goku, assessing the situation, transformed into Super Saiyan Blue and rushed to Vegeta's aid. The two Saiyans fought in tactical coordination, looking to open an opportunity to counter Gohan's savage new form. The battle became a whirlwind of energy, with explosions and crashes echoing across the battlefield. The shadow creature in the shadows continued to manipulate and fuel Dark Beast Gohan's fury. The Saiyan strategy was becoming more and more challenging as Dark Beast Gohan seemed to be one step ahead, anticipating their moves.
Damn it! Gohan Beast is too unpredictable.
We must find a way to free Gohan from this transformation. We can't let the shadow control his true power.
As the Saiyans faced Gohan Beast's fury, the shadow creature watched from the shadows, enjoying the chaos he had unleashed. The situation was becoming more critical with each passing moment, and the Saiyans' endurance was being tested in the face of Beast Gohan's uncontrollable fury. The battle raged on in a titanic struggle between light and darkness, with the hope of freeing Gohan from the influence of the shadow creature hanging in delicate balance. The Saiyans, determined to overcome this challenge, faced an enemy that had managed to unleash an even greater internal threat than before. While the intense battle raged on the battlefield, Piccolo, the Namekian sage, was immersed in his mental training somewhere secluded. His concentration was so deep that he could feel an abrupt shift in ki, a disturbance that reverberated through space and time. A shiver ran down his back, indicating the gravity of the situation.
Something's not right.
The Namekian instantly stood up, his cloak billowing as he focused on the direction of the glowing chaos. The power he felt was not just brute force. It was an amalgam of dark energies that seemed to defy the very essence of reality. Wasting no time, Piccolo prepared to approach this side of the conflict. Back on the battlefield, Goku and Vegeta fought valiantly against Dark Beast Gohan, who moved with uncontrollable ferocity under the influence of the shadow creature. The dark entity, sensing Piccolo's arrival, smirked.
Looks like we have a new guest. This just gets more interesting.
Goku and Vegeta focused on Gohan Beast, noticing Piccolo's presence as he appeared on the battlefield with a serenity that contrasted with the surrounding chaos.
What happened here? What have you done with Gohan? That shadow thing possessed Gohan and transformed it into a wild beast.
We can't free Gohan this way. The shadow creature manipulates his power in unimaginable ways.
Dark Beast Gohan, noticing Piccolo's arrival, turned to him with wild eyes. The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos, prepared for the next act of this heartbreaking play.
Welcome, Piccolo. You're just in time to witness the inevitable downfall of these Saiyans. Don't underestimate the Saiyans or my determination. I'm here to free Gohan.
The Namekian braced himself for the confrontation, deploying his ki with an intensity that made it clear he would not be a mere spectator in this battle. Dark Beast Gohan, fueled by the shadowy influence, roared and lunged towards Piccolo with a speed that defied all logic. The battle became even more chaotic with Piccolo's entrance. His movements were precise and calculated, contrasting with the wild ferocity of Dark Beast Gohan. Goku and Vegeta, aware of Piccolo's strategic skill, adjusted their approach to coordinate their attacks with the Namekian. Meanwhile, the shadow creature watched the battle with a Machiavellian smile, enjoying the confrontation between the forces of light and shadow. The dark entity was determined to prove that its influence was insurmountable. The fight unfolded in a whirlwind of colliding energies, with Piccolo demonstrating his tactical and strategic prowess. Dark Beast Gohan, however, remained a formidable challenge, his erratic movements and uncontrolled strength testing the tenacity of the warriors on the battlefield.
Goku, Vegeta, we need to plan to break the connection between Gohan and that shadow creature.
You're right, Piccolo. We need to attack from different fronts and destabilize that connection.
I'll take care of keeping Beast Gohan busy. Kakarot, you use the connection you have with your son to try to isolate the shadow creature.
Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their efforts with Piccolo's strategic expertise, went on the assault. Piccolo used his wisdom to be able to devise a way to get Dark Beast Gohan out of said possession, while Vegeta unleashed his fury with calculated attacks to keep the beast at bay. As the battle continued, the shadow creature began to feel the pressure of the combined strategy of the Saiyans and Piccolo. The connection between Gohan and the dark entity was under threat, and the shadow creature, despite its confidence, was beginning to show signs of concern. The battle was far from over, but the warriors' resilience was growing stronger in the face of the adversity that loomed over them. As Piccolo continued his mental struggle to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession, his Namekian senses sharpened. Keen perception led him to identify a small shadow leech clinging to Dark Beast Gohan's lower neck, a detail that had not been evident in Broly's previous possession due to his long hair covering that region.
That's it! The key in this little shadow leech on his neck. We must eliminate it to free Gohan.
Piccolo's revelation attracted the attention of Vegeta and Goku on the physical battlefield. Vegeta, upon hearing this, turned his gaze to the back of Gohan Beast's dark neck and noticed the presence of the Shadow Leech.
A Shadow Leech? That explains why we couldn't free Broly this way.
How do we eliminate it without harming Gohan?
As Piccolo struggled to maintain his mental connection, he analyzed this situation and came up with a strategy.
If we attack the Shadow Leech directly, we might harm Gohan in the process. We need a precise way to eliminate it without endangering his life. So what's the plan, Piccolo? Goku, you've mastered Ultra Instinct, but you can only maintain it for a few seconds. We need to take advantage of those brief moments to distract Dark Beast Gohan and allow you to get close enough to destroy the Shadow Leech.
Understood, Piccolo. I'll do my best.
But how do we make sure Beast Gohan doesn't attack while Kakarot's approaching? That's the tricky part. We need to keep Gohan busy and distracted. Vegeta, your attacks must be precise and constant, keeping his attention on you. I will, but Kakarot, don't make me regret this.
The battle resumed with renowned intensity. Vegeta went on the offensive, attacking Gohan Dark Beast with a series of swift and powerful blows. Gohan responded with ferocity, but Vegeta maintained agile, dodging his attacks while keeping the savage Saiyan warrior's attention. At that moment, Goku concentrated, channeling Ultra Instinct. An aura of flickering energy surrounded him as he activated the powerful transformation. His speed increased exponentially, allowing him to easily dodge Dark Beast Gohan's attacks.
Now, Goku, now's your chance.
Goku in his Ultra Instinct state moved with superhuman speed towards Gohan's rear. The shadow creature, still focused on the fierce confrontation with Vegeta, did not notice Goku's approach.
This is my chance to end this!
With pinpoint accuracy, Goku reached out his hand and touched the small shadow leech on Gohan's neck. The leech, upon being touched by the Ultra Instinct energy, began to fade, emitting a dark screech before dissolving completely. Dark Beast Gohan, losing connection with the Shadow Leech, shook violently, as if releasing himself from a trance. Vegeta, noticing the change, cautiously stepped back as Goku returned to his normal state.
What happened?
Kakarot seems to have found a way to free you from that thing.
It was risky, but it worked.
Well done, Goku, but don't let your guard down. This shadow creature might have more tricks up its sleeve.
The immediate threat had been neutralized. The shadow creature, watching from the shadows, moving away unnoticed by the Saiyan warriors, was not about to give up, so the shadow creature set out to return to its master. After the terrifying moment that the Z warriors had experienced, Goku and Vegeta realized that Beerus and Whis were not on Earth. They had disappeared just moments before the shadow creatures appeared on Earth. This is because Daishinkan discovered that Zeno-sama had been killed by his father and immediately summoned all the angels and gods of destruction. In the majestic realm of all, Daishinkan, the high priest, summoned all the angels and gods of destruction of the existing universes. The atmosphere in the hall was unusually tense, and concern was reflected in the faces of those present. Daishinkan, with his usual calmness, prepared to share the disturbing truth he had discovered.
Angels and gods of destruction, the time has come to face a powerful truth. Zeno-sama, our beloved king of all, has been slain.
Silence fell over the hall. The angels and the gods of destruction exchanged looks of disbelief and dismay. No one expected that such a tragedy could occur, especially at the hands of someone so powerful.
My investigation revealed that the one responsible for this abominable act was Zeno-sama's own father.
The news resounded like a somber echo in the room. Everyone present processed the shocking revelation. The omnipresent figure of Zeno-sama, the supreme deity, had been shattered by his own protagonist. Mohito, Sidra's angel, spoke in a worried voice. How is it possible that a being as powerful as Zeno-sama's father could have committed such an act?
That is a question for which I still have no answers. But now we must face the consequences of this event. The stability of the multiverse is in danger.
Arak, the god of destruction of Quitella, asked,
"And what measures will we take in the face of this threat? What'll happen to the throne of Zeno-sama?"
That is a question we must discuss and resolve. For now, the throne remains empty, and our duty is to maintain peace and balance. But before we make hasty decisions, we need to fully understand the magnitude of this situation.
Beerus and Whis prepared to inform the gods of destruction and angels of all universes about what they had witnessed while on planet Earth with Goku and Vegeta. The hall of the realm of everything was filled with celestial beings, each one expectant and worried about the news they were about to receive.
Attention everyone! We have crucial information to share about the events that have been unfolded.
Before we are summoned here, the father of Zeno-sama appeared on all the planets of the multiverse. Surprise was reflected on the faces of those present. Murmurs and whispers filled the room, as the gods of destruction and angels exchanged looks of disbelief. His visit was not simply to report the death of Zeno-sama. He announced the holding of the tournament that would determine the survival of the planets in each universe. Additional rumors filled the room, creating a constant buzz of concern. The gods of destruction and angels wanted to understand the implications of such an announcement.
He informed the rules of the tournament and the intentions behind such a competition, but it's necessary that we all work together to get answers and face this threat.
It is time to join forces and overcome this crisis. The fate of our universes is at stake.
As the gods and angels absorbed the gravity of the situation, in every corner of the hall of the realm of everything, conversations and plans were brewing to confront the mysterious tournament that threatened to upset the balance of the multiverse. Uncertainty hung in the air, but the determination of the divine beings was determined to face the unknown that lay ahead. In the hall of everything, Daishinkan, the high priest, sensed the imminent arrival of extremely powerful entities heading for the different planets of the multiverse. His face reflected seriousness as he prepared to inform all the angels and gods of destruction present of the coming threat.
Gods and angels of destruction, The time has come to face a new and challenging threat. Entities of great power are headed towards the planets of our universes, and their goal seems to be a direct confrontation with the strongest warriors of each world.
The expressions of those present became serious. Aware of the gravity of the situation, Daishenkin continued with determination.
It's crucial that we move quickly to protect the strongest warriors of each planet, regardless of which universe they belong to. The threat we face does not respect universal boundaries, and we must act with unity to preserve the balance.
Vados, the Angel of Champa, raised his hand.
How do you plan for us to move, Daishenkin? We each have responsibilities in our universes. I understand the complexity of this situation, but the magnitude of this threat requires immediate action. I suggest that every angel and god of destruction move to the planets threatened by this unknown force. We must prevent the strongest warriors from being defeated before we can fully understand our enemies.
Sounds like a sensible plan, Daishenkin. If we all work together, we can protect our warriors and gain more information about these powerful entities. Each angel and god of destruction nodded in agreement, accepting the need to act immediately. They moved quickly to the various planets, casting aside universal barriers in a joint effort to safeguard the multiverse.
May the wisdom and power of each of you guide this effort. Let us not underestimate this new threat. Our duty is to protect the existence of our universes.
With those words, the angels and gods of destruction dispersed, leaving the Hall of All in preparation to face a challenge that transcended universal boundaries and demanded the collaboration of all divine beings. Uncertainty hung in the air, but determination to preserve the balance of the multiverse guided the powerful beings in their joint mission. The angels and gods of destruction quickly teleported to the threatened planets, each determined to protect the strongest warriors on the various planets. In the blink of an eye, the skies lit up with flashes of divine energy as Awamo and Ewin, Cognac and Quintella, Matanu and Geen, Whis and Beerus, and the other angels and gods of destruction headed toward their assigned destinations. The planet Thraxis Nocturnae lay peaceful in the corner of the cosmos, its nocturnal luminosity radiating a tranquility that was about to be disturbed. In the vast space, Awamo the angel, with his small book in hand, and his god of destruction Ewin, an imposing figure with a stern gaze, detected the arrival of a shadow creature, a minion of Zeno-sama's father. The creature, shrouded in malevolent darkness, descended with malevolent determination towards Thraxis Nocturnae. Ewin, without hesitation, deployed his energy of destruction while Awano stood by, hoping to resolve the conflict without a bath of chaos.
Creature, your darkness will not be tolerated in this realm. Stop your destructive plans.
The shadow creature emanated a guttural growl, its presence emanating an unnatural energy that distorted the space around it. The space battle began with an explosion of opposing forces. Ewin launched destructive beams, while Awamo used his speed to dodge the attacks and assess the situation.
Ewin, this creature's stronger than we imagined. We must be cautious.
I know, Awamo, but we can't let him destroy Thraxis Nocturnae. We must give our best. The shadow creature, agile and evasive, responded to the attacks with dark energy waves that distorted space. The battle spread across the firmament, leaving traces of destructive energy in its wake. Ewin tried to anticipate the creature's movements. However, the shadow creature proved to be agile and adaptive, countering every strategy with an unmatched dark force.
Our conventional methods don't work. Ewin, we need to combine our forces.
I agree, Awamo. It's time to show them the true power of destruction. Awamo and Ewin merged their energies, creating a flash of light that defied the surrounding darkness. The shadow creature, perceiving the threat, intensified its own energy, generating a collision of cosmic forces that shook space itself. The battle reached a fever pitch, with cosmic explosions lighting up the scene as Awamo and Ewin struggled to contain the darkness. The struggle took place not only on the physical plane, but also on the spiritual one, where the will to protect Thraxis Nocturnae was pitted against the ruthless ambition of the shadow creature. The fusion of Awamo and Ewin unleashed a dazzling energy that eclipsed even the nocturnal luminosity of Thraxis Nocturnae. The gold and violet glow enveloped the divine couple as they prepared to face the dark threat looming over the peaceful planet.
It's time to show the true extent of our power, Owamo.
The shadow creature, aware of the growing threat, rushed towards them with supernatural speed. Owamo, with his keen perception, anticipated every movement of the creature, allowing the couple to dodge its onslaughts with heavenly elegance.
Keep calm, Ewan. We must synchronize our movements to counteract their darkness.
Ewan nodded and unleashed a series of destructive energy blasts that lit up the space around him. However, the shadow creature responded with amazing agility, dodging every attack with meandering movements. The battle became a cosmic game of strategy and speed. The angel Owamo and the god of destruction Ewan soon realized that in order to defeat this entity, they would need a coordinated attack that transcended the limits of their individual abilities. In a moment of perfect timing, they unleashed a gale of combined energy. Owamo channeled the energy of destruction while Ewan released violet flashes of destruction.
Focus your energy, Owamo. Let's get rid of this darkness once and for all.
Owamo nodded and joined the attack with determination. The fused energy of both angel and god turned into a spear of golden and violet light that pierced through space with an impressive speed. The shadow creature, caught in the torrent of power, let out a heart-rending howl as it was enveloped by the luminosity. The impact was abysmal, generating an expansive wave that shook the cosmos. The darkness that enveloped the creature began to dissipate, revealing its twisted and weakened form. Owamo and Ewan, exhausted but triumphant, stood on guard ready for any eventuality.
We have managed to contain their darkness, but we can't let our guard down.
The shadow creature, now visibly weakened, recoiled before the imposing presence of Owamo and Ewan. The light had prevailed over the darkness in the cosmic corner of Thraxis Nocturne. The divine couple remained firm in their duty to protect the planet that this creature wanted to destroy. However, the battle was not yet over, and the fates of the planets remained uncertain in the vastness of space. After the shocked combined attack of Owamo and Ewan, the space around Thraxis Nocturne was vibrating with the residual energy of the cosmic battle. The shadow creature, apparently weakened, remained suspended in the cosmic void, enveloped in a dark glow that seemed to absorb the surrounding light. The divine couple watched cautiously, aware that the fate of Thraxis Nocturne was still hung in the cosmic balance.
Ewan, something's not right. The darkness of that creature seems to be getting stronger instead of weaker. It seems that our attack has absorbed by her, but it shouldn't be possible. How can he transform our energy of destruction to his own power?
The shadow creature, now surrounded by a more intense aura, began to change its shape. Its twisted figure became more defined. His eyes shone with a malevolent lucidity. The darkness emanating from her was becoming denser, distorting the space around her.
You have underestimated my true potential, angel and god of destruction. Your energy has strengthened me beyond your comprehension.
The divine couple prepared for what was to come next, aware that the threat they faced had evolved. The shadow creature, now empowered by the absorbed energy, charged towards them with renewed speed and ferocity.
We need to be more cautious, Ewan. It seems that every blow we inflict makes her stronger. Understood, Owamo, but we can't allow this darkness to devour Thraxis Nocturne.
The battle resumed with increased intensity. The shadow creature attacked with bursts of dark energy that cut through space, while Owamo and Ewan responded with flashes of golden and violet light. The cosmic dance of lights and shadows painted an epic picture in the vastness of the universe. Each blow and backlash echoed like thunder in space, distorting reality itself. Owamo, with his keen perception, tried to anticipate the movements of the dark creature, but the dark entity proved to be unpredictable. Ewan, with his energy of destruction, sought to weaken the creature, but his attacks seemed to be absorbed and turned into an additional source of power.
Every time we hit her, her power increases. We can't go on like this. We must find a way to counteract his ability to absorb our energy. Do you have any ideas, Owamo?
Owamo pondered for a moment, his angelic mind working in search of a solution. Meanwhile, the shadow creature, aware of its opponent's confusion, took the opportunity to launch a surprise attack. A wave of dark energy enveloped Owamo and Ewan. distorting their perception and weakening their defenses.
Your resistance is useless. I am the embodiment of darkness. His light cannot prevail before me.
The situation was becoming more and more desperate for the divine couple as they struggled to resist the shadow creature's attacks. Awamo turned his attention to the small book he always carried with him. An idea began to form in his mind.
Ewin, I think I have an idea, but we need to synchronize our attacks in a different way. Explain yourself, Awamo.
Awamo explained his plan to Ewin, who nodded in understanding. Both God and Angel prepared to put their strategy into practice. The shadow creature, confident in its superiority, launched into the attack again, but this time Awamo and Ewin were ready to respond differently.
Now, Ewin, combine your energy of destruction with mine in a more controlled way.
Ewin nodded and channeled his energy to Awamo, who, in turn, merged it with his. Instead of launching a direct attack, they created a sphere of combined light and energy that floated between them.
Do you think this tactic will change the outcome? We'll see.
The energy sphere began to slowly expand, emanating a glowing light that contrasted the surrounding darkness. The shadow creature, curious but confident, watched the development with disdain.
The fused power is not only destructive, but it also has properties that counteract its absorption capacity.
The combined energy sphere, now reaching its maximum expansion, released a wave of light and energy that enveloped the shadow creature. This time, instead of absorbing the power, the darkness that characterized her began to dissipate.
What is this? My power should not be weakened. We create an energy that goes beyond destruction and creation, one that neutralizes the darkness that you're trying to absorb.
The shadow creature, weakened by Awamo and Ewin's strategic counterattack, retreated as the combined energy sphere continued to exert its effect. The light emanating from the sphere began to purify the darkness surrounding the entity, revealing its original form before corruption.
It seems our tactic's working, but we must make sure we contain it completely. We can't let our guard down. Let's continue with the strategy until the creature's completely neutralized.
The space battle continued, but this time Awamo and Ewin had the upper hand. His sphere of combined energy continued to exert its purifying effect, dispelling the darkness that threatened Thraxus Nocturne. With each passing moment, the shadow creature grew weaker. The light of hope began to shine in the corner of the cosmos that was once on the verge of destruction. The shadow creature, weakened by Awamo and Ewin's strategy, retreated into space, its distorted form twisting as the combined energy sphere continued to purify the darkness that enveloped it. In a desperate attempt to regain his strength, the shadow creature began to explore its surroundings, looking for an opportunity to turn the situation in his favor.
My power is weakened here. I need to find a place where darkness prevails.
While exploring, the shadow creature noticed something that favored him. His eyes flashed with malevolent anticipation as he discovered that this world was called Thraxus Nocturne because it was a planet plunged into shadows. The dark entity smiled malevolently as he realized that this planet could provide the darkness needed to revitalize his power.
Ha 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 ha! Thraxus Nocturne, a feast of darkness awaits me!
With amazing speed, the shadow creature launched itself towards the planet, traversing space with great speed. Awamo and Ewin, aware of his intentions, followed closely, determined to stop any attempt by the shadow creature to plunge into the darkness of the planet. As the creature approached Thraxus Nocturne, the darkness of the planet seemed to intensify, as if responding to its presence. The planet's nighttime atmosphere shone with a faint luminosity, offering a fascinating contrast to the surrounding stars.
Ewin, we must prevent the creature from being filled with dark power. If she succeeds, it'll be even more difficult to stop her. Understood, Awamo. We'll not allow the darkness of this planet to fall into the hands of that entity.
The shadow creature descended on Thraxus Nocturne with a terrifying impetus. As she approached, the darkness seemed to take her in, enveloping her with a gloomy welcome. The shadow creature began to absorb the darkness of the planet, its twisted form vibrating with a new energy as it filled with the essence of Thraxus Nocturne.
Ha 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 ha! Yes, this darkness will strengthen me. Nothing can stop me now.
Awamo and Ewin, wasting no time, headed towards the shadow creature. determined to stop its advance before it became unstoppable. The battle in the shadows of Thraxus Nocturne was about to take a very drastic turn.
We cannot allow this darkness to completely corrupt this creature. We must stop her before she becomes invincible. Your previous strategy was effective, Owamo. Let's keep working together to counter his power.
Deep in the shadows of Thraxus Nocturne, the intense presence of the absorbing shadow creature did not go unnoticed by the most powerful warriors on the planet. Turles, Bardock, Raditz, Frieza, and his brother Cooler felt the darkness increasing around them and, with a mixture of amazement and concern, headed toward the epicenter of the threat.
Something's not right. The darkness in this place is getting denser.
Whatever it is, we cannot let it threaten Thraxus Nocturne. Let's investigate.
The warriors moved nimbly across the gloomy terrain, advancing towards the source of the darkness. As they got closer, the atmosphere became heavier, as if the shadow itself wanted to resist their advance.
The darkness is different. I feel a strange pressure. I'm not afraid of the dark, but this is unusual. Cooler, stay alert.
Understood, Frieza. Let's find out what's going on.
Suddenly, a wave of dark energy erupted before them, revealing the shadow creature that was absorbing the darkness of the planet. His twisted figure and malevolent aura were as evident as the threat he posed to Thraxus Nocturne.
Warriors of this planet, his darkness feeds me. Soon I will be unstoppable.
We won't let you destroy Thraxus Nocturne. Get ready, creature.
The warriors went on the attack, each unleashing their unique power against the dark entity. Turles unleashed his evil aura, releasing bursts of destructive energy. Bardock channeled his Saiyan fury into powerful blows, while Raditz and Cooler coordinated their attacks to create a symphony of destruction. Frieza intensifying the struggle.
This creature doesn't know who he's up against.
Your resistance is useless. Each blow only increases my power.
The shadow creature, powered by the darkness of Thraxus Nocturne, absorbed attacks with defiant ease. Each impact seemed to strengthen rather than weaken it, plunging the warriors into the disturbing reality that they were facing an enemy that fed on its own darkness.
It's not working. He's getting stronger and stronger.
We need to change our strategy. We can't let it absorb all the darkness on the planet.
While the warriors struggled to find an effective strategy, the shadow creature, with its distorted laughter, continued to absorb the darkness, becoming more and more powerful. The Battle of Thraxus Nocturne's survival was at its most critical, and the warriors knew that they had to find a solution before the dark entity became invincible. The dark aura released by the shadow creature enveloped the warriors of Thraxus Nocturne, gradually weakening them. The warriors struggled to stay on their feet as the entity's malevolent energy infiltrated their bodies, obscuring their vital forces.
This is it. Too much.
I can't let that defeat us like this.
The warriors, despite their bravery, were overcome by the darkness emanating from the aura of the shadow creature. At that critical moment, when hope seemed to be fading, a heavenly light pierced the shadows. Owamo and Ewin, the angels charged with protecting Thraxus Nocturne, arrived on the battlefield.
The darkness emanating from this creature is breathtaking. We cannot allow it to take over this planet. Time to show these warriors how to fight true darkness.
The angel spread his wings, and together with the god of destruction, they advanced towards the shadow creature, his presence radiating a luminosity that defied the malevolent nature of the dark aura. As it approached, the dark entities sensed the arrival of divine beings and turned to face the new threat.
More insignificant beings. His light will be devoured by my darkness. Don't underestimate the power of light. Darkness cannot resist the true essence of creation.
Owamo extended his hand, and a purifying light enveloped the battlefield, counteracting the dark effect of the creature's aura. Ewin, on the other hand, deployed the energy of destruction, creating a perfect balance between light and darkness. The shadow creature, for the first time, felt the pressure of forces that it could not easily absorb or resist. The conflict took a turn, and the battle became more intense as the angel and god of destruction faced the dark entity with the unique combination of light and destruction.
The real struggle starts now. We'll protect Thraxus Nocturne from the darkness you represent.
The fight between the angels and the shadow creature reached impressive levels, with bursts of energy illuminating the dark planet of Thraxis Nocturne. Meanwhile, the warriors, freed from the debilitating effects of the dark aura, watched the fight, hoping that their planet would not be destroyed.
Track